Okay, 6:30.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Scott,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yep.
Stan,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna deviate a little bit here. Brandon has some new officers that we just swore in and that, and he would like to introduce them to council, so. You know who's
Good
who.
evening. I'd like to introduce our three newest officers. Jeremy Linton was appointed on the 4th of July, and he assisted, some of you might have seen him up at the park. He lives in Newriegel. He's a full-time dispatcher for the city of Tiffin. He'll be helping us here part-time. Next would be Jared Linden. He's from the village of Grafton, which is up by Cleveland. He did his internship, went to Heidelberg, did his internship with Metrics, the drug enforcement unit. He's going to be helping us here part-time as well. And as all of you know, Brittany Twig, she's our park director. She graduated from the police academy at Terra and also from Tiffin University. And she'll be helping us out here part-time as well. So we'll just have to add another thing behind her name of what she does around here. So you guys, I'm not going to really take many questions about them. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I can make sure it's answered for you. For the sake of time, I'm going to let that get back. They live quite a ways away. These are Jared's parents, and he came to see him get sworn in. So over the next couple weeks and months, you'll see them once they get the uniforms and get acclimated and do some training. You'll see them out there on the street. So if you have any questions, flag them down, and don't tell them anything bad about me.
That's kind of hard.
Yeah, you guys are free to go if you want. So thank you for coming very much. Nice meeting you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you for
Bye.
letting me.
Okay, then we'll go on and, need any discussion? We need to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Yes.
No.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Rob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Okay, then we need discussion or approval of the financial report.
And to give you all the information, looks like the latest reconciled bank statement, we got $1,452,795.89 in all the accounts, so. And it looked like all the appropriations and the revenue are tracking well. I don't see anything sticking out like a sore thumb right now. I think we're doing good there. Any questions or concerns?
I just wondered, we had a receipt of shy of $95,000 at the end of June, and it dipped to 65. I'm just wondering, I mean, that's not including the 4th of July revenue, or did we, just wonder why the big,
I can check it out for you.
yeah, I just wonder, well, there's like a $30,000
Swing.
dip. I mean, what is that? The end of June looked really good. Then we kind of took that dip and we actually had more payments than we did income. So just trying to look now what's mentioned.
Okay, anybody else got any questions? Now we'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Yeah.
Stan,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill.
Yeah.
Yes. Public comment, Louis, got something?
What?
Do you have something to,
Say.
do you have something to say?
Well, yeah,
Okay, you're on.
they got a, I don't know who's down there on the alley there, but they're running a motorbike around, pretty moving at night. Got lights on as far as that goes, but I don't know, if that's a good idea or not.
You mean young kids? Are you talking about young kids or?
Yeah. Well, I that there, where Stumpy lives, Dale, or not,
Oh,
Yeah.
that guy there on the corner of the alley, it's his kid, or
Oh.
her, or whoever it is, but
Mm.
not only that, but I mean, there's about 3 of them there. Then next to me, they got 2 of them, one little car. That don't bother me, they jump on the trampoline and stuff like that. But when they get right through my driveway, I don't like that. But I mean, then there's a couple other boys down with their mom and dad, I understand, both work, but they don't know when to come home from the bars, I guess. But, maybe I shouldn't say nothing, but I just think that a lot of kids running around there. Somebody, when they find out on this one on the other side of town, did they get those kids in a home or something?
No, I understand they moved in with Nancy Kimmett out there in Teacher Town.
Out?
Yeah.
Where the
Yeah.
basic-
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, they're
They're
still,
like
they're
our-
still close.
That's a bad outfit there.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Are they riding in the yards?
What?
Are they riding the motorbikes in the yards?
Oh, no, man, like, if they ride in my backyard, I don't say nothing.
But they're going through yards, not necessarily
Well,
straight.
yeah, but,
Oh.
not yet, they're not in mine yet because I watch them, but I don't care if they were, I got plenty of backyard, I don't care. The only thing I say is don't tear it up. If you wanna ride in it, but don't use the same path.
Right.
You know, and, I mean, I don't mind kids playing, I know they gotta have some recreation, but, man, I watched those kids playing in snowdrifts this last winter, and I thought, that one snowdrift falls in there, they go, they have a hard time getting him out.
What time of day or night seems to be the worst?
Right now, they're in school, but as soon as they get home, they're either on a trampoline from my neighbor's place, and there's about 4 or 5 kids back there jumping and hoping none of them ever misses that thing, because if they do, they're gonna be hurting bad. But, other than that, I like to see kids have a good time, but do it with a little,
No balance there.
because we all did that. I mean, hell, I did it.
Yeah.
Does any of it happen late at night? Because you're not the only one to complain, including myself. Numerous nights I'll wake up 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning hearing kids walking up Union Street, talking, riding bikes, 3, 4, 5 kids at a time. More than, I'd say at least 4 or 5 nights in the last 6 weeks.
Where do you live?
Up by the old Dormouse.
Oh, there's another touchy spot.
But there's a lot of kids, not a lot, but 5 or 6 kids, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning,
That shouldn't be.
walking by, riding bikes by,
Yeah.
dogs start barking.
Well, once I go to bed, I'm done.
Yeah.
Either comes morning or I gotta get up and go to bed. Other than that, I'm done.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anything else? What about, do you have anything? Huh? No? Oh, okay. Okay, anybody else got any public comment? No?
Oh, hey Gary, I was gonna say also with this, the dog deal again,
Uh-huh.
I think he's probably got 17 more. They are raising all kinds of heck down there on King
Is that
Street.
good again?
Oh, yeah, you should hear them every day. You can hear them through to my place, you know.
I drove my bike back behind there.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know.
How many dogs?
He had 17, and I called the dog warden, and she said he had a license for all of them. And unless we had an ordinance saying how many dogs you could have, you can have, no,
No.
you can have 1,000 of them if you want to.
Yeah.
So I think we should be kind of looking into something like this, you know. You hate to do this, you know, but 17, 18,
That's what he doing.
well, I don't think so. He just hasn't had them fixed, you know. And they have puppies, and he gets overwhelmed, and 'cause Scott had talked to him,
Yeah, talked to
you know,
him.
one time, he said he was trying to get rid of them, you know. And also down by, Hood's, there's a couple of dogs barking all night long too. I heard a complaint about that too, so. That's all.
Isn't there a time when children should be in bed?
Well, there's an ordinance, there's a curfew,
There's
but
a-
it all depends how old they are.
Well, I mean, hell, it's like, they were talking, you can wake up anytime and hear kids
Yeah.
walking up and down the street. And, I'm surprised some of them don't get hit the way they, I got a sidewalk in front of my place, but nobody uses it. They all walk in the street. Which is up to them, I guess.
They are walking around the school around 10 o'clock at night, down Davis Street and stuff like that. And I called the sheriff last month because I seen a bunch of kids jumping in that dumpster outside the
Yeah, I
school.
tried to chase them off.
And, you know, just, they're getting up on the side and jumping in. I know there's gotta be metal and stuff, but they see them taking desks and stuff over there, I'm afraid you're gonna get hurt. And if a kid jumps in there and gets hurt, and the other one's run off, I mean,
Well, they just upset the porta potty over at the water tower, you know. I mean, and they're doing this stuff in broad daylight too, you know, so.
yeah, they are.
I know 3 of them, but I don't know the other 2, the bigger kids, I don't know who they are.
Well, these kids I'm seeing are, they're 5th and 6th grade.
Yeah, they're older, yeah, yeah,
They're not teenagers.
yeah.
Any other comments, anybody? Okay. If not, we'll go on reports for committees, finance, budget, audit, Scott?
Yeah, I think I'll bring up in the new business, we're gonna have to look at appropriations and stuff, so we'll talk about it in new business, but I think
Okay,
some of the things we gotta just deal with, so,
okay,
but, we're gonna add things.
okay. Police, Brandon?
Sorry to get these passed out beforehand.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Obviously for the month, I was very slow again due to lack of manpower, which I think we've taken care of tonight hopefully. We had 7 adult complaints, 1 agency assist, and 1 felony arrest. That was at the 4th of July. Myself and Melissa participated in the Seneca County marijuana eradication, or the lack thereof, as you probably saw in the newspaper, which is a good thing. Held interviews for part-time positions prior to the hiring of these 3. We've already announced the hiring of Brittany Twig and Jerry Linden, and then Jeremy on the 4th of July. We will tomorrow be participating, at least myself, if not myself and Melissa, we'll be participating in the meet and greet out at the park for the merging of the school, or the takeover of the school, to meet the kids on a non-confrontational basis, also to meet some administrators and teachers, so that we have that rapport with them. Another thing I'd like to bring up is the council's approval to look at is the purchase of a TASER ECW probably all heard of the taser. I think it's important for a village this size, especially with our backup 10, 15, 20 minutes away. What it'll do is officer will carry that on their belt or on their vest, and that'll be their a weapon for them to use in the use of force continuum, instead of going directly to deadly force or whatnot, kind of between the stages of officer presence and the use of deadly force. And it just gives them one more tool to limit our liability for having to go that next step. So the cost of a taser, ECW, is about $1,000. Plus you have to buy the download kit, you have to buy the probes and the training. Total is $1,396.35. From what I can see in our budget, due to the lack of manpower we've had, we have plenty of money to spend on something like that, but I'd like to bring it to your attention and see if you guys had any questions about it, any comments about it, or didn't want to do it at all. So I guess, have any questions about it, any comments about it?
What training is required or necessary?
There is a training held by an instructor that's been certified through TASER. That training will be done prior to any use of the TASER. We also have a policy on the TASER usage which mirrors the City of Tifton's TASER policy. So they will be trained prior to. A lot of times, a lot of departments will make them take the ride from the TASER, what they call the ride, which is getting the shock of the TASER. They've now made it voluntary. So some people will opt to take it, some people will opt not to take it. There's two ways that they can take it. One will be they get actually shot with it and the probes will go in them. They will take, it's a 5-second ride, or they can have them just taped to their back and kind of just get a little shock so you kind of know what it's like. I've done it. I'm still here. Maybe a little less than usual, but there's many studies out there that say they're a perfect non-lethal thing. They're very good for us. The one that we would be getting would have 2 cartridges. So if you were at a situation where you needed to use it on 2 people, you could use it on 1, use it on 2, and then you can control them simultaneously if they're not doing as they should. So,
Doing the dance, I guess.
right. There will also be usually biannual training then to kind of refresh on the use of the TASER, any updated policies or whatnot that officers will then participate in. I do have somebody from the City of Fostoria that's willing to train our officers for free on the use of the TASER once we would get the TASER, so that'll be no cost to us. Also, the Seneca County Sheriff's Office, Jeremy said is holding an instructor's course, which we may want to look into sending some of that so that they can instruct new officers if we should get them, so we wouldn't have to farm that out. But right now, it shouldn't be a problem because I have someone from the city, Fostoria, that will do that for free for us. So there's just something to think about. I can pass this around. This is the price sheet and what I think that we need to kind of get up and going with it. So you can pass that around. Any other questions about it?
Are you familiar with any police departments acquiring additional or different kind of insurance for that? Because we've all heard stories, unique stories in Toledo, people dying. So should the village have additional insurance or a special kind of insurance for that?
That's something I would cover with our insurance company prior to doing this. This is kind of the ground steps, just making sure that it's okay with everyone to even look into it. That's something I would contact them about. But usually, it's no additional coverage. It's kind of in your pool of policy. Everything's covered in there.
Okay.
It's no less of a liability, or no more of a liability than carrying a live firearm. It's actually a lot less. When you shoot somebody with a weapon, outlook's pretty grim. A taser has like a 1 in a million chance of causing that, and it's usually from something not related to the taser itself, but pre-existing conditions.
Right. I mean, I like that option a lot better because I'm real afraid about using guns, you know, as your only option, you know.
That's kind of the problem.
Final with it, you know?
That's the problem we have here is we have the use of force continuum begins with officer presence. Just your presence there. A lot of times, 90% of the calls that you go to can just be handled that way. Then you will have like the mace, which is the pepper spray. We also carry an expandable baton, and then the next step would be the taser. So it's kind of, it gives you an extra tool in your tool belt that you don't have to take that step if you're unable to control someone. So I think it's more of a positive thing than it can be a negative thing, in my opinion. But if you guys have any questions about them, I can show you videos and studies and all that if you want to see them. So they're all over the internet.
Yeah, I've seen some.
Understand you right? Usually an officer will pull mace before they pull the taser?
They're kind of on the same level, I guess, with use of force.
Mm-hmm.
It's an officer's discretion type thing, and you can't just say the use of force like you show up and you're there, and then somebody pulls a weapon on you. You don't have to hit every step in the
Oh, I see.
continuum before you get to that next step. So
Okay.
it's kind of you meet force with force. So.
Thanks.
Any other questions about tasing? Okay.
Do you want more information on it, or do you wanna say, hey, you can get it, or?
It's a great tool.
Yeah.
It's a huge deterrent. I mean, you go into a call, I've been doing this since '98. I mean, I'll admit to you, when tasers first came out, I was like, they're overused. I became a believer. I'm telling you, you go in these calls, these guys are huge, and you're the only officer there. They're drunk, on drugs, whatever the case may be. They're willing to fight. You say, hey, I got a taser. You'd be surprised how many people are, okay, all right. Because y'all have this misconception of a taser.
Or they've seen those videos too.
And everyone's got this misconception, I'm gonna urinate myself, I'm gonna do all
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's-
I've used mine 3 times now in the city of Foster. We've had it for just over a year, and I've used mine 3 times.
If anything, it's
Situations.
gonna help you with, if your guy gets hurt, now you're looking at workers' comp for the officer, so it's gonna be.
That's why we did it.
It is, right.
Obviously, the city of Foster is a little different than this, but we have a lot of people that run and things like that. We've had numerous officers that have been out for years, multiple years, from injuries that could have been taken care of if they would have just had that extra tool developed. It is a useful tool. I can say from personal experience it does work, and we've had a lot of success with it. So, and out of the thousands of calls we've run on in that past year, only 4 times that I know that it's actually been used. Most of the time they see it, hey, we don't want to, changes the attitude. It's more of a deterrent than anything. So that's what we're using it for, is a deterrent more so than anything. And then it's nice to have that if you need it.
And you're talking about one now probably be kept in the vehicle for whoever's on duty?
It'll be kept in the office. When you get on duty, you'll sign it. You'll do a spark check to make sure it's working correctly. If it's not working correctly, it'll be taken out of service and sent in for service. But it will be kept at the department for each officer. Usually we have 1 on duty unless we're training. That officer will carry it then while they're on duty, place it back in the office so the next officer can use it. Due to their cost, we can't afford obviously to get more than 1 at this time.
Right.
So.
Everything I just watch it from TV and stuff like that, but those are real life. I mean, they usually carry it on their belts. And
Yes.
lots of times, just the threat of using it is enough for that person to get warned.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I like.
Well, the idea is we gotta protect our officers. I mean, that would be silly not to. And they're gonna get into situations like that. I think it's a good idea for them.
And I agree, since we do have extra, since we do
And
have
we
extra
have
labor.
it in the budget now,
I think it's not
so,
gonna hurt us, and I
you know.
think it'd probably be a good investment for them.
Also, the taser policy, if an officer were to misuse it, do something they shouldn't do, that's on them. That's why the policy is there, is to protect the village, protect the police department. If they go outside the scope of that policy, that's on them. They're gonna be liable for that. But as long as they follow the policy, I'm one person. I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus. I'll back them, even if they made a mistake. We'll get it figured out. But I think they're all mature people. They wouldn't be in this profession if they weren't. They wouldn't be hired by me if they weren't. So I have all the faith in the world that they can handle that. If I trust them out there with a gun, I definitely trust them out there with tasers.
Well, just what we know of tasers and the fact that just about all the anticipated questions you answered before we even asked them tells me you're all of these things, so I'm not opposed to giving you a tool
I
that
appreciate it.
make our job easier. That's
I-
my personal opinion.
I've been using taser for now 9 years. I had one I worked in the Village of Republic. Never had to use it over there. People see it on your belt. The city of Foster is obviously a little different. Easy to learn a little slower.
Yeah.
But, it's a great thing, so I appreciate you guys' consideration. You guys have,
Okay, do we-
to address,
Maybe should we just do it?
I think
Why
it's
don't
making,
you just do it, then? You wanna make a motion to go ahead and let him purchase that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
I think it's the right thing to do. I mean,
Yeah, I think it is.
Ron,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Bill,
yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
You got her.
Yeah.
while I got the floor, I guess, I'd like to address some of the issues that we've had with the children running around. A lot of this falls on me not being able to get people hired quick enough. I appreciate you guys bearing with me and not put too much pressure on. Now that we got these find people hired. Once they get trained, we'll have people out in the evenings, we'll have people out on the weekends more, to address these problems. I'm aware of several of them. I've talked to several of the village residents, including this gentleman, and things that Joyce have said. You know, I hear a lot, I have family in the town, so I know what's going on. I actually had an instance where I think it's the same boys that we're talking about. I was down at my mom's, they're on Monroe Street the other day, and I saw them walking through the woods there. And I watched them out the window, and the one boy tossed a Mountain Dew can in there. So I walked out and said, "Hey, does that look like a trash can?" and had him pick it up. Well, he had quite the attitude. I introduced myself, let them know that we weren't going to be taking their attitudes and things that they've been doing, and they seemed to be kind of appalled that I knew who they were, kind of what they've been doing, and things that have been happening up at the gas station and around town. They seemed receptive to my stern talking to, but if not, we'll make sure to address that once we get some people out on the road. So just bear with me. I know I've been saying it for a couple months now, but now that we've been able to get them out of the academy and get them hired, we'll get it taken care of.
You know, there's just no supervision for those boys. I mean, they're living on their own
I
and
agree.
taking, you know, they're
Survival.
I agree.
survival, yeah.
I talked to John earlier today about it. There were some things that have happened up near the gas station, up all around town
Yeah.
actually. I am going to be in touch with Children's Services tomorrow
Mhm.
and see about getting a hold of whoever's in charge of them and seeing if we can dip in the butt before it becomes a bigger
Oh,
problem.
yeah,
So I don't want to see anyone get hurt. I don't want to see anybody's property be damaged.
yeah.
But they can't run amok and just do what they want. But also, I'm not going to be ruling with an iron fist, hey, you guys can't be out, you know, doing things. But is there safety, your guys' safety or your properties?
At risk or whatever.
Right, then we're not gonna put up with that. I understand kids can be kids, but we're not gonna have their safety, your safety, and your property's safety at risk. So.
I'm glad. Last year, we had some kids that were trying to bust the glass in the display for the school on the sign. And, I won't mention the name of the kids, I don't want. And, I went over there and said, it's enough, you're gonna stop. Because if something happens in that school, I see it,
Right,
and I know Brittany and all them are gone, I'm gonna call somebody. Because that's our school.
right. And that's what we need.
I went over there and they stopped, and as soon as I turned around, a skull went.
Ooh.
But it was 45 minutes before, there was nobody on duty here, and it was 45 minutes before the sheriff shows up. Now, they know that.
Absolutely.
I mean, they know that. They see me at that window, we got at least a half an hour. You know, and they're fun, they're really good at it.
Mhm.
And so I'm glad we're taking interest.
We're gonna mix it up in the scheduling too. This day shift, weekends off thing isn't gonna fly. You may not know when people are on, you may know when people are on by seeing them out, but we're gonna really mix it up with our hours and days on, days off, to cover the most amount of hours that we can with the money we have allotted. So, just bear with me. I know I've been saying it. All right. Any other questions? All
Nope.
right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yep.
Fire, Steve?
Okay. Had 9 calls for the month. Yearly total is 77 calls. Good news, the department has learned that the EMS grant we received for $500 was wrong. We received a letter that states we will be getting $1,500 for the 2014-2015 year. And the department did some public relations in July, took engine 61 to Tiffin Walmart for County Safety Day, and truck 64 was taken to Bradner Fire at their request for department anniversary. Santa was also taken to the park for Christmas in July. Pump testing and hose testing will be getting done in the next couple of months. And there is a possibility of a house to burn and training. If this happens, we would like to invite council to come out and see firsthand how and what we do. We will get a date when all paperwork has been done. Now, hopefully that might be done during the evening. You know, several of us aren't around during the day. It has came to Jim's attention that the village website emails for the fire department and police department also have Stan Poe's email address on them. This cannot happen as we do receive emails that are personal and private, which would violate the state HIPAA laws. He's requesting his emails be removed at once. And final, the fire department will be holding an open house October 12th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will be serving breakfast and have demonstrations. More details to come.
Cool.
When is that?
Use the bathroom?
Can we have,
October 12th.
can we use the bathrooms, he said?
At what time?
11 a.m. to 2 p.m. More details to come.
Oh, good.
Yes.
What?
Well, I hear about it every time I see him at work, we go back, need to again. You're right, I didn't, sorry.
You'll be there though, right?
If I'm not someplace else.
Should I call you?
Okay, so Stan, you are carbon copying all this?
Well, that's the first I've heard of it, and I don't know where those email addresses appear on this, on the village's website.
On your village website.
Oh, okay, I thought it said the Bettsville website, but that's fine. Yeah, I can take that off. I've not gotten one single message, so I don't know if anybody's used it or even knows it's there. When I had talked with Jim, he was aware that that's how I had it set up, so if I saw anything during the day, I could let him know. But we can easily change that, not a problem, but that's the first I've heard of it.
Clean up, Joyce?
I don't have a lot to offer, but I am unhappy with the banks that own all these, properties, the way they're coming in with bush hog and just mowing and leaving a heck of a mess, and I did clean up that, fire hydrant I went over and cleaned it up myself. That lady, remember, over there on
It was
Monroe
last
Street,
fall.
yeah, I went over and uncovered all that and got that all taken care of. And evidently Fogel's both have like Alzheimer's, and I don't know how to get a hold of her daughter.
We have a number,
Do you have, okay,
or not for a daughter, for a granddaughter, but we can get a hold of
okay, okay.
her.
Because Steve said, you know, they used to come out, they're all holed in there. He doesn't know.
He is very bad.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got dementia.
I
Yeah.
see him driving now, I'm telling you.
Really?
I'm not so sure that's a good thing, but yes, I see him driving also.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Do you know what their address is? Like if I'm working, I get a call.
Oh, yeah, it's on Monroe Street there.
I don't know the exact number, but I can. The brush hog thing, are you talking about Sullivan down by Linda's?
I told her that
Well,
you
that-
did that one.
Well, no, but,
That one is still in limbo.
but roads in, what's his face down at the end, you know? I mean, I'd rather just go down and mow it myself, you know, as to see that mess, and I don't think the neighbors.
Where are you
would
talking
like-
about, Joyce?
Oh, I was thinking about what's his face down the other.
Oh,
way.
Enders?
Yeah. As soon as I call him, I'll say, you know, if you don't come and mow, I'm gonna charge you $150.
We can cite him.
Yeah.
The officer.
And he's over within an hour, so I mean, why do we have to
He
keep?
lives over in Adams. He shouldn't have to.
Yeah. I mean, they always wait until I threaten them and then, oh, whatever. Well,
Well,
I'll
the
go-
one down by Linda's is.
The one on Sullivan.
Yeah.
Steve's,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll
That-
put something up about that then.
That's the one I was at the other day.
That's the one that, the back, yeah.
The back door.
Yeah, we went down there the other day.
Yeah.
When I started mowing it, I saw it and called him right away.
And what about Bobby Roberts?
That one,
That
I'm
went
sure
back
is
to a
still
bank
in
too,
limbo also.
But somebody come and mowed it than the others. last
Yeah, they did mow it.
Who did?
Well, we
I
don't
don't
know.
I didn't see it mowed, but it's been mowed.
I'm not so sure that he's not still taking care of the
I've
property.
seen some riprap.
He lives, you know where he lives now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's got a lawnmower, but he says it's broke, so I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know, but that's my fault for the brush hog down there, but you ought to see those.
Well, I
roots
know,
sitting
and then
there.
there's rocks and stuff in there. and-
And the problem is, I go in there and hit that with my equipment, the bank's not gonna cover that.
Yeah.
And they're telling me right now that it's still in his name, they're in the process of taking it over, and so I went down and knocked it down as good as I could get it.
You didn't take that man for stuff.
No, I mowed around.
Well, I wanted you to be able to see what was going on.
It'd been more fun if you mowed through it.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody got anything else for Joyce? Not water, sewer, street, John?
Okay, I'll start with street. There's not really a whole lot going on with street. Grass wasn't really growing until we got rain here. It was just weeds. Sewer, I got one thing for sewer that we had discussed before, and it was actually approved. We had put the geyser pumps in one train of the sewer, one train out at the sewer plant as divided in two trains. And, we wanted to do it to the other side also. And you guys had approved, $24,000 to do, to equip the other side, the same as the side that we run on right now. And, they had steel, quoted in there for bracing and everything, but I asked them to change that to stainless steel, so that we wouldn't have a problem, because it's gonna be underwater. It's gonna be underwater.
Yeah.
So that increased their bid to $31,000 versus the $24,000.
Yeah.
You want it stainless, that's gonna happen.
The money for that will come out of the same place as we had discussed before. The sewer special assessment fund has $38,000 plus in it yet. So, that would be where that would come. But I need it reapproved to that side done since we've had a change in the cost. And then I guess while you guys are looking at that, we'll go on to the next thing. As most everyone is aware, prior to the council meeting in July, I got a call from the water tower. We started having communications issues between the water tower and the well field. That is on an old DC loop. That is not covered by Frontier anymore, nor will they, even install it. I was, myself, and the guy who put in the telecommunication system between the tower, or the telemetry system between the tower and the well field, believed it was the phone lines. Well, after further dealings with it, and coming in quite often to deal with it, what happens is when I lose that communications line, if the wells are off, it's not really as big of an issue as if they were on when I lost them, because now it's not gonna call for it to shut the pump back off, so I'm gonna blow the tower over. After the guy from Berger and Associates got into the program on the system, he found that it's not holding, the processors going out of it, and right now we actually have it faked out. It won't stay on one well for an extended period of time. It's got to transfer from well to well every cycle, which kind of poses a pain in the butt, because one well draws more chlorine than the other well does, and the chlorinator has no idea when a well is running. It's either on or off. So I got a couple quotes to replace the telecommunications system. One is operated by radios, and the other one is operated by a cellular device that would go, there'd be one inside the house of the tower and one inside the well house. And basically, the costs are pretty close in the two different ones, but the issue with one versus the other is one, the company actually owns the software. They're the only people that can work on it. And the other one is Allen Bradley equipment or equal thereto, and anybody can work on that. So, the cost for the outfit out of Artesian is $8,400 plus $1,500 per year contract, and that includes cell charges with no upfront cost. they would be putting in a radio system. That also, with that, no upfront cost, you could purchase, the remote access for $4,900, and then you pay $200 a year for the cell transmission charges. But, excuse me. Dave and I think that it would be a better idea to do the $1,500 per year, because in 5 years, if that equipment's antiquated, then we can upgrade and not have a huge out-of-pocket cost again. We spend $1,400 a year now for the 2 phone lines. So, but the cost for that, the total investment for the telemetry unit be $400. And then the remote access is $1,500 a year. So, the other outfit is $7,200 plus installation, and a little over $1,100 a year. So,
So which one you recommend?
Dave would like to go with the one from Artesian, because that one can be owned by anybody.
Makes sense.
I think the other issue was we didn't have the upfront cost of that one, right? Is that, I understood that, I had that right in my head. That's when we didn't have a big upfront cost in.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's other issues, we don't have much money up front to pay for it. I mean, we're gonna have to deal with this water tower issue. We know,
So it's important,
you
we
know,
gotta have
we don't wanna be like Toledo, we'll not have water for,
30 days,
yeah, so we gotta get all that issue, so. Then we're gonna have to move forward and resolve it one way or another. I just think, when I looked at quotes, I thought that was a better deal, in my opinion. You know,
We wanna stay away from proprietary.
yeah, and this was the radio, the other one was a cell phone, right?
Yeah,
So,
Deal with it
that's-
every day.
It'll bite you, it'll bite you.
well, see,
The other difference is one being cellular and the other one being radio. Cellular service goes out, I'm in the same boat I'm in right now. The radio, as long as it's got power, it's gonna work. Plus, the other one that's like $1,000 cheaper, but doesn't have the labor included. That one, with them being the only ones that can work on it, are out of Cleveland. So I'm paying them for 3 hours drive time before they even do it. So, which their equipment has been good. I mean, it's been in here
Oh, no
longer
doubt.
than I've been here, but, I can only assume that, they most likely did the work for Fremont Water Plant. That's probably why they were brought in here. Hayden most likely brought him in because he was used to working with them. So, but they've been good people. I just don't think that, cellular is the way to go with the issues that we're having right now.
yeah, I think.
we have to make a motion on
I
that?
think we need to
Oh,
make
yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I wanna make a motion to go with the radio system and the lower upfront cost. And we're already paying for the phone lines pretty close to cost anyhow, so it's not gonna be much a big impact to us as the other one, I think, so.
Right.
So,
Lead time was how long on that?
10 to 15 days.
Yeah.
But
That's pretty
we
quick.
have
Yeah.
to reappropriate the money for it, which comes out to $9,900. We have to reappropriate, or we have to appropriate unappropriated funds in order to do that, which they can get it ordered as long as I give them a PO number. But we gotta send a letter to Julie, we gotta pass a resolution to do the appropriations, but everybody still has to agree. I mean, I can get it ordered and we can get everything rolling, but
We just have to have a special meeting to come in.
after you
and pass the
guys
resolution.
make a motion and pass a motion to purchase this one, then we'll have to do another one to appropriate unappropriated funds. Which there's plenty of unappropriated money in the water fund to cover it. So,
So you
I'll make a motion for the first part, for the,
purchase
The
it?
radio.
purchase of it, right, that's the first thing we gotta do,
from Artesian,
Artesian.
I'll second it.
Scott?
Yes. Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Stan,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Okay, we done?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
you also have to do a motion to approve, or to appropriate unappropriated funds in the amount of,
9,800.
to the water fund.
Making that motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Good pull.
What was the amount, John?
8,400 and 1,500, so 9,900.
Steve and Bill? Ron?
Yes.
Okay, Steve,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Scott,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
You're on yet, huh?
Yeah, we're not done yet. The quote from IFM, we'd also need a motion on that to get the other side of the sewer plant done.
So we already made most of the 2,500 or 25,000, we just gotta do the addendum. That we gotta do.
24,000, like 31,000.
Because I had them change everything to stainless
Everything
steel.
went from mild steel to
Yeah.
stainless.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to the industrial food management.
I'll
That's what I'm
second.
saying. I mean, I won't ever have to worry about it, I'll be all gone before stainless. Somebody will
And they'll thank you for it.
Scott,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Stan,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Ron.
You know, the money you wanna spend tonight?
Think of anything?
Oh, yeah, I think
You
we,
got blue, buddy.
I primed them for you.
Yeah.
Good job, you only wanted 1,000.
Easy.
You're getting right up there with the fire department.
I know,
You
and I
waited,
got really nothing to show for it.
Yeah,
you waited for 400,000 residents not to have water.
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get funny how that works out.
Timing's everything.
One more real quick thing, as I'm sure everyone has seen, the water tower's been painted. I did tell you guys that we would approve that as council for the color of it, but they were working in Lindsay, and after they left Lindsay, they were either coming here or going down south, and if we didn't get them before they went down south, we may not have had them this year. So I spoke with Scott and another council member, and their opinions on the color were what I ultimately, Dave and I decided we just do it. So, that's why it's blue. Anybody wondered?
Wasn't it blue once before?
Mm.
It was
Yeah.
blue before it was white.
Yeah, yeah.
The reason Dave and I wanted to go with blue is because it doesn't show the mold and mildew when it sweats like the white did.
Yeah.
So,
And they're taking care of that run that I mentioned.
yeah.
Was that on your car?
I seen it towards the top of it, coming through town the other day, about this small. You didn't see it?
I like getting see tap across.
We're gonna send Joyce up there, she can scrape it and repaint it for us.
we'll put,
That's all I've got.
put Steve up there, he knows right where it's at, he can point at it.
Just covered up with that buzzard poop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you done? Or you have anything else?
That's it, thank you. Your utilities are thanking you.
And John's thanking you, so you don't have to keep coming in every night.
Oh, I make sure I let the auto dialer run through a cycle once, so Gary gets called in the middle of the night too, so he knows somebody's coming in.
Yeah. Yeah,
You feel his pain?
yeah, I do.
I have a question on streets. Everybody probably knows but me. Who got the bid for the State Route 12 paving? It was opened on the 24th or not?
We don't know, they didn't tell us.
And
Oh,
It's state,
We're
we're
not-
not involved in it other than,
But you haven't heard?
they're gonna tell us when it comes through,
Mm.
when it's time.
It'll read the side of the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they never tell us what's going on.
But they did say it would be ground down and,
Dig,
right.
yeah, dug up real good, yeah.
They got the sidewalk stuff too, right? Some sidewalk stuff.
All the sidewalk approaches have to be handicapped accessible now, so every approach will be done from one end of town to the other. That has a sidewalk on it.
So
That was why we had the big issue with
with Elm Street.
Elm Street,
Right.
because it was listed as private property on the
Right.
maps, so.
Do we have enough orange homes or not to do all this stuff?
For,
Well, when we do all this construction, we gotta get like Sligo or something, that have homes out there, right?
We're gonna get those concrete walls destroyed.
yeah, barricades.
Okay, if that's all, then John, we'll go on to park. Brittany,
Okay, first I have a question about the 4th of July. Have we come up with a total of?
I have everything right here.
Okay, I can get it later from you. I just
Yeah.
wanted to get an estimate of how much we were, that way we can plan next year for different events and stuff like that, which I'll get into later. Our latest event we had was Christmas in July. We raised about $88, which was more than we had anticipated. See, everything was donated, so it was all profit. Like I said, the fire department came out and Santa came and visited the kids and everybody had a great time. We made crafts and had ice creams that they could, or ice cream sundaes they could make and root beer floats. Then the past 2 Sundays, I've held a water rescue training with myself and the lifeguards, just to kind of go through, the fire department, no one else really that was there, it was just practice for us to go through, what a mock training or a mock situation would be. It was about a 2-hour session and every guard but 2, completed it. I have 8 guards, so all but 2, like I said. And those 2 guards haven't been working, they've gotten other jobs, full-time jobs, so they're just kind of are hit and miss things. But before they come back, I told them that if they come back before the end of the year, they have to complete that training before they can go sit back up on the stand, and they're okay with that, but I don't know if they're coming back. I'd also like to know if we can get a budget for the rest of this summer, so I can start planning, where we're at, what we need to do, if we have to borrow money. And then later, I would like, maybe in the next couple of months, to figure out a budget for the 2015 summer, so we can, I know that that's probably gonna be our last, summer on the levy we currently have, until we figure out what's going on, and then going along with 2015 summer, I'd like to create a 3-year plan. And when we find out what we're gonna do at the end of 2015 summer, I wanna be able to plan, okay, the next 3 years, this is how we're gonna fund with this much money, because I don't wanna be borrowing any more money. If we gotta cut back on hours, we'll cut back on hours. I'm at like the bare minimum, I'm at what the state requires us to have, and I can't really cut back on lifeguard hours, but if we can, maybe if I gotta look into more volunteers to come in, and we can work with other organizations to do that. I do have one request, we've advertised, I guess, when we hire people, that if they come in, we will reimburse them for half of their pay of what they, pay to become a lifeguard. I'm not sure, I'll give you guys the numbers later and the receipts and stuff. Andrew, you have on file, I believe, the guards who were reimbursed last year. But I have 2 new guards that, Levi and Hawk, that we need to get reimbursed, but it's up to you guys if you wanna reimburse them for half of what they paid for their.
That's always what it's been.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been like that for years, and I just wanna ask permission if we can do that for them. The other thing, final closing dates. I'm gonna probably run out of lifeguards the week of August 18th through the 22nd. So that means we'll be able to, our last full week, Monday through Friday, will be the 11th through the 15th. We'll be able to be open that Saturday and Sunday, which is the 16th and 17th. We close the following week, and then I think our last day will be August 24th, so it'll be a Sunday. After that, all my guards go back to they either go to high school or they leave for college and stuff, so. I'm not sure when you guys wanna make the official last day, but it'd be nice so we can start advertising directly and say this is the last day,
It'll be the 20,
the 24th.
yeah.
And just, a future thing in the fall, the park committee, we would like to start looking into more grants if we come up with any that we think we'd be eligible for, we'll bring them up and we'll present them to you guys, for your opinion, and then go from there. I'm looking into remodeling the green shelter house. Don't know what we're gonna do, just, it's starting to fall apart. Some of the main beams for the doorways, you can start pushing. I was out there, we were cleaning it out after a storm, and I put my hand up on it and I go, whoa. Like the beam that's about that wide, it's all 4 squares, and it's falling apart. It's all rotted at the bottom, so we need to do something there. The tennis court, disaster. April got a quote from M&B, she was supposed to come tonight but couldn't make it. And she hasn't gotten back with me, and the last time I heard, as of last night at 11 o'clock, M&B had her with the quote. A gentleman from M&B came out, gave us a price quote. What we're looking to do is take the tennis court and turn it into a basketball court, but lower the rims, that way we can have one for little kids. We can have like an adult-sized 10-foot basketball court, and then maybe like a 7.5 to 8-foot basketball rim. That way little kids can come out and they don't have to struggle and try to shoot on a 10-foot rim. But that would only be half of the tennis court, because there's actually 2 courts there, so the other half we'd probably till up and just plant grass seed or something like that. It's still in the talks, and we have to come up with more ideas with your park committee. And then the shuffleboard area, we're also thinking about tearing up because no one uses it, and M&B said it's gonna cost way too much money because you have to tear the whole thing up and resurface the whole thing. We're looking at like a couple $1,000s to redo the shuffleboards, and I'm like, it doesn't get used. I don't know, personally, I don't think it's worth spending that money if it's not gonna be used. And that's all I have. I do have one other thing, John, do we address it now or later in new business? Stan came to the park, a couple times and asked if he could go on the beach, and not pay, and he told one of my guards that council members get in free. He just hasn't gotten his pass yet, his membership pass. As far as I know, and last year, no one gets in free, no one gets free passes from anything. The Legion used to do it. They haven't done it last year due to funding or the way things, the way money gets donated to the park. People have to buy passes. I just want it to be known to everybody that council members, I'm asking you, do you guys have a thing that I don't know about?
No.
That council
No.
members are getting in free and you're supposed to be getting your passes? Because I haven't been told anything. I'm not sure what you guys want to do.
Wasn't it done that way though, previous
No,
years?
no,
Never.
it's never
Not
been
that
done.
when I got in, I was told no one gets passes, everybody has to buy. If you want a park membership, that no one gets free passes. And anybody, the only people who get in free are 5 and under and 60 and above. Even my lifeguards, when they're off duty, unless they work that day and they're already there, they may get in free, but if they're coming in on their day off, I make them pay. We don't get a lot of revenue in every year, and so we need all the money we can get, so I don't want to scam the system. And that's everything I have.
Okay.
On that note, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was gonna bring it up also. I went out yesterday, was the second time, and my plan for going out I wasn't planning to swim. I wanted to look around, look at the diving boards, just look around. As a council person, I think we're all charged with keeping an eye on everything that's going on. I don't go out there every week. It's probably the second time I've been out there all summer, but I was simply going out to look around. I have no problem with $3. I can give $3 at the gate, but I did respect your request yesterday. I didn't say, well, I'm going in anyway, so you said I had to pay, so I had a debit card on me, but no cash, so I didn't go in. So in the future, I'll pay the $3, but it just seems odd to pay $3 to do what we're commissioned to do. If we go out there and look around, not to swim, but just to look around, maybe chat with the guards, how can we help as council, anything that we need to know about. That was my plan.
I understand that. That's also my job as the director, to make sure that all park maintenance is being done, everything's up to date. We have record of when our diving board's checked. When the health department guy comes in, I have to show him, okay, every day we have daily logs and stuff like that. I'm checking the depth of the water at the racks, at the diving boards, that our equipment's being checked and stuff like that. And if you want to come in, you can, but you have to pay the $3. And if it were that big of a concern, you would have come with the $3 and paid, so you can go look in, because it's just.
So is it your
anybody
thinking that
that's
council should have no oversight of what you're doing?
You should, but I'm pretty sure we have a park liaison who comes to our meetings. Joyce, you've been coming to our meetings as the park liaison to kind of oversee it. And I have no problem with any of you coming out and wanting to look at something, but the way you did it was you just walked past the gate and didn't even say what you were doing. as far as I knew, you were gonna go sit on the beach and just either go swimming, sit out there and tan, or whatever.
Yeah, and when you called me back, I explained what I was doing
No,
out
you
there.
asked me a question about the cons, chips, and
Right.
you never mentioned what your intentions at the park were yesterday. And that's the only reason why I had to pull you back, because had you told me this is what you're gonna do, I would call John and Gary and we would come to a conclusion like, okay, yes, we can do this. But I had no idea you were coming that day until I saw you in the parking lot there walking up.
No, you saw me at the school, cause I saw you jump in your truck as fast as you could to follow me out to the park.
I was leaving my job to go to my other job, which I do every day at that time. But anyways, that's not part of the thing. But I'm just saying, had you told me that's what your intentions were doing instead of just walking past the gate, not saying anything to the guards, the 2 guards that were in there and myself?
I had been talking to the guards before you got there. I told them what I was doing. I said I wasn't swimming.
Neither one of them said anything to me, and
Okay.
But the rule is anybody who passes the gate has
Yeah,
to
if we can
pay
make it
$3.
simple, I'll do the $3. That's not a problem.
So
Even the 4th, I paid to get in, I worked that day.
Yeah,
I mean, that's,
we worked long hours.
there was one more thing. There was a Facebook comment that you posted on I think it's the Vote for Stanfo page. I'm not sure what your intentions were there. The way you worded it kind of made it sound like you were throwing me under the bus as your employee, because I was denying you access because you were trying to go out in the best interest of the village, and as a council member and stuff, and the best interest of the park to go out and do something, and you made it look as though I was being a horrible park director by not allowing a village council member to go look at the thing. And I don't appreciate the way you went about wording that, and basically throwing me under the bus, and throwing all of my staff, my guards, and everything under the bus.
Well, I didn't use the phrase horrible park director. I did say that you denied me access to the park to do what I thought was something that any council member could or should do, go out and check things out from time to time. That's village property. I mean,
understand that.
I think we're commissioned as council people to keep an eye on things, as well as trust your judgment, but I don't think the comment was that disparaging, but if that offended you, I apologize.
It was just the way you worded it, and that day you did not mention anything about checking the equipment out there.
I did to the 2 people that were there. If they didn't tell you, I don't know.
I felt as though you were more concerned about the cons, chip, and how we're.
Well, I am concerned about those. Yeah, we can get into that too.
That's probably something for
We
new
will.
business. But I'm done with the park stuff.
Well,
Do you guys have any questions for me?
I do have, the income and expenses for the 4th of July. For the fireworks donation, the Legion gave $500, the Sons of the American Legion gave $500, Vesuvius gave $1,000, the Legion ladies gave $100, over and above what, that was their donation for a total of $2,100. Vendor fees and campsites brought in $1,355. Parking concession stand brought in $5,188. And total income was $8,643. So I mean, it was a pretty good thing. But our expenses, police was $640. Porta pots was $635. Bounce houses was $450. Fireworks cost us $14,000. 4 additional hours for lifeguards was $306. Camp permit fee was $50. And startup money was $500, but that's kind of a washout on another. So that totaled up $16,583. So actually, it was pretty good for the 4th because we had good weather and everything, and taking in our parking fees, the concession stand, and everything. That's really pretty good. The village paid $12,000 for the fireworks, and then a little under $12,000, but then $2,100 was donations from the Vesuvius and the Legion and the ladies auxiliary.
What was your final figure?
For we were behind $7,938, but, I mean, we always do that because we pay for the fireworks. But otherwise, I think we made it really pretty good. That's one of the better 4th of July that we've ever had. It was a lot of work, and I think all you guys that did help, and it was, I think it went very well. I think we didn't have any disturbances that I know of, and I think everybody, those fireworks was awesome. Had a lot of great comments on the fireworks. There's, I mean, a lot of people's been coming from afar just because they've heard about them, and it draws them in there.
Something to have, police department has to do with the 4th of July in the park. I saw the CERT committee was out there, they assisted with the parking. I think that went very well, and I'd like to make sure that that's on record to thank them. I did send them a nice letter saying thank you, they did a great job and a great service for us. Because it can be a nightmare with the parking and especially getting them out, so I'd like to personally thank them on behalf of the village for their, the CERT team, Seneca County Citizen Emergency Response Team.
That was well organized.
They're through the EMA, they do a very good job, they were very helpful, so I want to make sure that was on record. I forgot during my spiel. I asked for 4 people, they sent us 8, so it's even better, they did a great job. And they were free.
That was the real good part.
Gary, what was the total income number?
Total income was $8,643. And yeah, we wanna send thank yous to the Legions and Vesuvius and that too for they'll usually do every year. So Legion helps us out quite a bit. Cause they donated to the Little League and they send the Little League kids to the Mud Hens game. And they have a great time there. They buy all the tickets for that and send them to the Mud Hens game. Kids look forward to that. Oh, yes, I didn't think we had to, because we've been doing it every year. I thought it was in the book, I don't, we can do it, just go ahead and do it, we'll need a motion to pay.
I'll make a motion, please.
Could we tell them that when they come on? I mean, it's always been the policy of the
They
park.
get reimbursed for half the first year, and the other half
It's
the
the
second.
second year.
Right.
I mean, it's always been there, I thought it was, it's in the handbook, and no, it's not in the handbook, but.
I'll second it.
I was thinking as well.
But it's some, I think we got somewhere, because we do it every year. I don't remember doing a vote for it prior to that, but we can do it just to cover.
Still resign.
Scott,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Stan,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Anybody got anything else on the park? If not, I will go to
Yeah,
zoning.
One more
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
when Eells died, did he give that park to the village? How'd you get it?
Yeah, they gave it to us, basically. I think they sold it to us for a buck.
On the green shoulder, you know, some of the repairs that need done, has anything been checked in, like maybe the Sentinel or anything? You know how they'll do the projects?
No, but that's a very good idea.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but we have our park committee meetings on August 11th, next Monday. So I was gonna suggest it there, because I know they used to go out and build houses.
Yeah.
When my dad was in school, he was in that program. But I was gonna suggest something like that there, but we just haven't had our meeting yet, so.
Okay.
But it's a real good idea. Okay, zoning, Scott?
Excuse me, would this be a good time to address that handout I get on the
What?
concession stand and the Conn's potato chips, or you wanna do that under
We'll
new
ju-
business?
Or we'll just do it after the zoning, after the committee thing's done,
Okay,
okay?
The zoning now?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's no issues going on and everything. Unless, do you have a question about zoning?
No, I thought maybe we skipped over it because
No.
we were doing park tours.
Oh.
Or 4th of July tours.
I actually do have one thing on this.
Okay.
There was a call about a swimming pool that went up. And of course, it falls under the guidelines of our zoning. I made a copy of that portion of our zoning ordinance and, put in there a nice letter, explaining.
The fence and all that stuff?
Right, and, knocked on door, didn't get a response, I left phone number and all that stuff, if they had any questions. And, I stuck it in the door, and that was 2 weeks ago, and nothing has happened. There's nothing really in the zoning to say where I go from there. I'm supposed to give someone written notice, but after that, I'm not entirely sure what to do.
We haven't thought about that one yet.
I mean, I followed what we're supposed to do so far, but when that doesn't get a result, I'm not real sure. This is the first time we've had this issue,
Is it this one right here?
or maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe try to contact them again, or maybe send them a certified letter.
I mean, the ordinance is.
Well, when they're out there sitting on the porch, just drive by and hand it to them then. Well, probably when they see you running in the house, right?
No, I don't really think there was anybody there, because the dogs weren't out to attack me.
Mm.
So, but that is an ordinance, so that is law, so at what point do we turn it over to the police department, because the fines and whatnot are.
Well, I'll probably need to go on and talk to them first and try to resolve it first. I mean, that's the case.
I mean, if we wanna.
I guess the ignorance of the law is no excuse, right? I mean, that's, so,
That's why he did his part, to try to make sure that they know what the law is, but
yeah, so, I mean,
ignoring it is the issue.
yeah, so I guess give me the address and all that stuff, so I know exactly where it's at. I'll contact them. Well, I will once.
3 doors down on the right.
Yeah. That's some Uncle Chris,
Oh, okay.
Uncle Polly.
Okay, that was the only thing
Okay, I'll wear my good hat.
Good luck.
Okay. So since Stan wants to go into the Conn's chip things, I was talking to Todd Con. He couldn't be here tonight. He wanted to be here, but he had some free engagement in that, and he authorized me to read this email that he got from Stan. And it starts out like this: hello, if you'd like to get dragged into this potential misguided Village of Bettsville, Eells Park invoicing and business relationship, just keep playing your game. I won't advise that. We need to talk at your very earliest convenience. Stan Poe, Councilman, Village of Bettsville. Now that's how he questioned one of our vendors.
I did send that, and the bottom paragraph of my handout addresses that. I called him twice. Called him about 2 weeks ago, and he was real nice the first time. He said, "Oh, Susan, my wife handles all of the paperwork, all the invoicing. I don't know, I'll have her call you tonight." Never heard a word. That was 2 weeks ago. So, Sunday. Yeah, Sunday I called him and asked him if I could talk with him and Susan either right then or a convenient time. That night, Sunday, or tomorrow, or Tuesday. Give him an option. When's a good time? Well, what do you want to know? And I started asking him some simple questions that you see listed there.
I don't have it.
Well, I thought I handed you out one.
No,
I can make you a copy.
I have none.
But,
Here, Gary.
as you can read in the last part of the last paragraph, during our second conversation on Sunday evening, August 3rd, I was cut off multiple times when attempting to ask a couple of questions or arrange another better time to discuss my questions with both he and his wife. He could not or would not answer even the simplest of questions. I texted his cellular phone admitted that right there. I didn't make a copy of that you've got, but texted his cellular phone and advising that I believed it would be in his best interest as each of us, if we made the time to talk, if he made the time to talk with either me or village council very soon. I wish he would have shown up today.
Oh, he wanted to. He really
Well,
did. He was
Yeah, I wanted to
really
win the
mad.
lottery last week too. But the first part, I don't plan to address this fully tonight because I know NCIS is on, so I won't.
No, it's not, it's a rerun. I've
Oh,
got all
okay.
the time in the world to
Okay.
stay
You
in.
might as well get it right
Um,
out there.
As
What
you
do you
can
think?
see in the first paragraph, some weeks ago I was made aware of a potential discrepancy by.
By who? Who you made aware
Okay,
of
did
all
you
this
read the
stuff?
second paragraph?
Yeah, ma'am.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Because I said I'm not gonna give out those
Well,
names
no, of
tonight.
course not, you're not.
Why are we gonna focus on that?
Because you're always stirring something up. I
No,
just wanna know.
I
what the
told you
hell-
right here, I will address who the sources are,
Mhm.
not tonight. Didn't I, you didn't read the second paragraph. You want my copy?
No, you probably got it memorized, I'm sure. Just go on.
I'll be happy, right there in black and white,
I
I'll give
saw
you the
it.
names.
I mean,
No,
just
you
keep on
didn't.
going.
Well, anyhow, keep going.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Some weeks ago, was advised of potential discrepancy in the purchases, deliveries, sales, and recording of the same of the snack chips provided by Conn's Potato Chips. The potential discrepancy revolves around the allegations that said snacks are, one, sold by the concession stand at the cost to the concession stand. Number two, mandated by Mayor Harrison that they were the only snack chips to be sold. Three, delivered to the park by other than typical delivery methods. Four, potentially being sold by park staff while some other person or persons other than the park and or village are profiting from said sales.
Okay, so what are you saying there?
Well, what I'm saying is I'm asking those 5 questions right there. If any of us can answer one or all of those 5 questions, I'll be a happy fella. And I'll say, you know what, I wasted your time. I don't think you wanna or can answer those 5 questions either now or next month.
I can answer anything you want to answer. It's not a problem.
Well,
We
number
went
one,
in
what's,
on
okay, here's the first,
Okay, go
let's
ahead.
answer the first question.
Okay.
You want me to read it to you?
No, sold by the concession stand at cost to the concession stand.
That's not the first question. The bullet
Number
points,
one.
the bullet points here are the first question. The bullet point, the first one says, why has the village, while operating HP Eells Park and its concession stand, not yet received any invoices for products for the entire 2014 season?
That's pretty simple.
Okay,
Okay, Todd, it's a seasonal spot, and we don't sell a lot of stuff, so why should he every month or every week invoice the park? He's done it, he either invoices once or twice a year. Then, the reason for that, Stan, is that.
you know how his
any-
invoice system works?
Well, sure I know.
Let him answer-
Let me say
let
what
him
I'm
answer
saying,
the
okay?
Okay,
Then, at the end of the year, he don't have to give us money back, cause he takes everything back we don't sell. Any other vendor or whatever, what we buy, we're stuck with. It's not, it's that, but he helpful, and whatever he puts in, he'll take back and we don't have to pay for it. So, he'll invoice it maybe once a year, or at the very most twice. He said, for $200 or whatever the bill's gonna be. And why should I make it out there and then have to turn around and give you money back? Because you got stuff left over and not sold. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, he's doing us the favor.
so he explained that to you is how he invoices?
He
Well, I
explained
know
to me
how
that-
it is.
And we have on file, like every time he stops by, he gives me a little receipt.
That's in
of
here too,
what
another
we got,
question.
Of what we got that day and what he took away, because some things don't sell, so he'll switch them out. And we have a receipt of what he took away, what he gave us, and I turn it in at that night, the end of the night, of whatever day he, like, yesterday he stopped out.
Right, and you
got-
told me yesterday, when I was out there, that you weren't there yesterday when he delivered.
No, my guards were.
So
But I've
he's,
explained to him, Taylor, she's one of the older guards, and she was there last year. And when Gary came out the first time Todd came out, last year, Todd had explained everything to Taylor and I. And I said, Taylor, if I'm not there, and I know the days Todd's are coming, you're gonna be scheduled to work, and she always is. Her, Caitlin, they were both there last year, and they help pick up the stuff out that we want, or whatever's selling and stuff like that. So we always check the boxes to make sure, because there was one time that he did accidentally gave us too many cheddar cheese fries instead of hot fries. And so the next time he came, he just switched all the hot fry, or the cheddar cheese fries out, and he gave us what we wanted. And then he wrote down on the receipt what he took away, what he gave us, and then then I turned it into Angela at the end of the night.
Okay.
And why not help a local vendor?
Is he as local as Ball Rights? I think.
Yeah, he's just as local. I
Okay.
mean, the Cons Chips.
Hans
you don't
Chips
know-
are out of,
Exactly,
Southern
but
Ohio.
Todd is from Old Fort area.
okay. Question
So-
3 addresses what Brittany brought up. Why have there been no signatures or initials provided or apparently required for any supposed delivery slips? I looked at the delivery slips Friday morning in here. No signatures, no initials on any of them.
Todd's never.
Don't anybody
I
initial,
asked him-
hey, I checked this item,
The very
this
first time
delivery
he
in?
came, I asked him, do you want us to sign for this? He goes, as long as you're content with what you got.
They check it off with him when he puts
Yeah,
it
when
in.
he
I
comes-
mean,
I
they
mean,
know.
Half
They
the time
got
when
it.
Todd comes in, he'll hang it right up on the thing for us. He'll be like, okay, you guys want 5 barbecue chips? And he'll hang it right up there, so we sit there and count and watch him do it. And it's not that we ask him to do that, he just does it out of kindness of his heart. It's not that he's taking stuff from us, or we're not getting what he's saying we're getting, and we're getting the right amount of chips that we're getting,
Okay.
or we're asking for, I should say.
And then, the fourth question in there, how many individuals have been personally involved with discussions, decisions, purchases, delivery, and all related activities with the Cons distributor? Your words yesterday to me, exact words, were John has it all set up. That's exactly what you said. John has it all set up.
I don't think that's my exact
Yeah,
words.
it was.
I said, we've discussed it, and before, I didn't explain this to you yesterday, but in previous conversations that we've had out there, I think it was Father's Day weekend, you had asked one of my guards about their opinion if they could change anything. It was if they could wave a magic wand, what would they change? And they
Yeah.
said the chips.
Yeah,
I
why? Why
talked
did they
to
say
my
the
guards.
chips? Because we don't make a nickel on them. We don't
What
give.
are you talking about? You make a quarter a bag.
The guard told me, and it was, well,
I don't care
Okay.
what they told you.
Hold on, the guards have no idea what happens in pricing.
Good
The
Lord.
only people who know that are Angela, because she gets the invoice at the end of the week.
well, then I encourage all of the council to do what I did today. Look at the supposed delivery slips. We have no invoices. Look at the supposed delivery slips, look at the dates and the numbers on the delivery slips. They don't jive. You got May dates with numbers that are should be in June, and June that should be in July. Look at the numbers. I almost didn't bring this to council's attention today. This morning when I was thinking about it, I thought, maybe, but then I looked, I picked up the copy I made of the sales slips, or the delivery slips, and I got to looking at the dates. So I took a piece of paper and I wrote down all the dates, wrote down all the numbers, because they're a sequential 6-digit number. I said, wait a minute, he's got a number here for May, that number in sequence, he's got one in June that falls before May. So I could be wrong, I'm thinking somebody said, oh shit, somebody's onto this. I better start writing some delivery slips. Okay.
What the hell's wrong with you,
Okay.
Stan Poe?
Look at the slips and tell me I'm wrong.
BS, I'm
Okay.
telling ya.
Or just a
God.
minute, she's going down to get packaged.
All right,
This
good.
is
Can I
damn
make a
crazy.
statement?
Yes.
Okay, in the beginning of the year, I did come to John here and I come to Angela in the office about switching who we go through. I wanted to go through Gordon Foods because they're price-wise, they're like $1 or $2 cheaper on everything we would be buying. However, I looked at the price of me going there on my own free will to get the stuff like I do for Tiffin Paper Company. I don't charge for mileage. It wasn't really worth it. To save $2 or $3, I'd be spending that to drive my own personal vehicle over there. So I went through Tiffin Paper Company. They're local. If I need something today, I can call them and go get it later on. If I need it, if I either have to go, if I wanted to go to Gordon Foods, I had to go to Sandusky or Findlay, and it's just not worth it. And then I priced out chips through Tiffin Paper Company, through Gordon Foods, the bulk supply of name brand chips, like your Doritos, your Lay's Barbecue, and all those chips that everybody wanted, which was what people were requesting. However, you're not making as much money for the amount of food you're getting. You're making on a small little bag of like the Doritos that you would use for like walking tacos, which is what we were planning on doing. You're only going to be making like 20 cents. We're making about 20, I don't really know what we're making off
We're making
the,
25 cents a bag on the regular
Yeah.
chips, and then
And that's the
the other ones vary to more.
just
So-
as Jeremy said, if I would buy a case, I think they come in either 30 to 50 pack cases of name brand chips, like the Dorito chips or Frito-Lay chips, we say. We're stuck with all those chips. When Todd comes back, if I don't, plain Lay's chips, those never sold when I was in high school and ran the concession stand. That's what we used, and that's why I wanted to do it. Because everybody likes name brand stuff. We're stuck with those if we went through Tiffin Paper Company. However, with Cons, if my party mix, which is one that doesn't really sell, if that's not selling, he'll replace it with the barbecue chips, which is probably our top seller, or our cheddar cheese fries, or hot fries. So and then at the end of the season, whatever we don't sell, he'll buy back from us, or he'll take back and doesn't even charge us for those chips. And just like some things, I have a case of Gatorade right now that's about ready to expire because the sell-by date's bad. It's gonna be bad in about a week or two. I'm stuck with that Gatorade if I don't sell it. And we've had where 1 week, the whole, it was one of the chip the chips types, that whole section was gone, and I mean, we had 3 days and stuff, and that's all he had, but we were sold out, so he gave it to us. People saw the dates, didn't wanna buy it, so we just took it off our shelf, and when he came in, he replaced it with new stuff. And didn't charge us for those 3 bags or 4 bags that didn't sell.
You know, it's been my experience when people answer questions, when they really go on and on and on and on, there's really a reason.
Stan,
Hold on.
enough.
I explained that because.
That isn't even any of these questions, what you were just talking about.
That wasn't to answer those questions. That was
You're
to
right,
give
it wasn't.
everybody a general idea of why we are with Conn's Chips.
And it doesn't have anything to do with it, you were told by
And it
Gary
says,
that,
and how Pacific, they have all deliveries, the time product's been delivered to the park concession stand, Todd delivers them to us.
have any of the chips at the bar made their way out to the concession
Are you
stand?
kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
That's
That's
a
a serious
That's a
accusation.
serious
Yeah, you're
accusation.
right, that's a serious accusation,
And
son.
you bet, I buy them, we pay every week when we get them from Con Chips. Ain't no chip been out of that park.
Okay, look me in the eye for a change.
I
No
can't.
chips from that bar have ever made their way out
No,
there.
they never have.
Okay, good, thank you. First time you've looked me in the eye for a long time.
Well, you're so shady, I don't want to.
Oh, I'm shady.
But that's, I can have something for, I can answer any one of them. I mean, it's not a problem. Todd,
All right, let me ask you
I
one
don't
last
lay a
question.
hand on them things.
Honestly, I don't think you've ever been out there when Todd delivered
I
this
haven't.
year.
I
think
haven't
maybe-
either.
I think
Why
maybe
didn't you ever
last
say
year
you
he
did?
came out to open the concession stand because he was doing early deliveries for us halfway through the summer, and then he switched to when we got out there, because he had called me last year and said, well, what time do you guys normally get out
No.
there? And I said, well, depending on the day, if it's a weekend, we're out there at noon, if it's during the week, we're out there at 1. So he started coming out around 1.
What's that got to do with this again? You're going on and on about
That
nothing.
Gary hasn't been out there.
I haven't been
Yeah,
out
we
there
know.
when he delivers.
Gary has not been out there to touch the chips.
I didn't know
didn't-
what they bought.
Did I say Gary's name? You kind of brought that in until I asked about the bar. And you brought that in. Why did you bring up his name? I didn't mention his name in that.
I would sure risk my job for 25-cent bag of damn chips.
I brought up
Jesus
whose name?
Christ.
To me, this is simply a pattern, a piece of a pattern, I'll leave it at that. But, did you tell the park committee or the concession stand that no ball rights, it's gonna be cons?
I told him I wanted Cons, yes I did.
Okay.
I won't say that, I won't,
And
not a
he
minute.
looked into it.
And
did.
I did it because of that reason. He
What
takes
reason?
everything back. Ball rights don't take stuff back. No other chip company does it. He's doing us the favor. We don't, every year we've had to just almost give stuff away that's left over. This way we're getting our full credit back from them and
Does that mean that
nothing.
Sundays is probably doing the same thing? Because they do go through Cons Chips.
Sundays does?
Yes, Sundays does.
I'm probably getting them too then.
Okay.
I don't need to.
Well, if you remember a few minutes ago, I said I didn't really need to or plan to get into all this tonight, so
Yeah,
if
it's
you wanna
something
drop it,
that-
we can drop it for
You
now.
keep coming out and bothering my guards when they're working, and they're there to work, not to worry about our
Your
chips.
guards,
I'm the
Yes,
park
they
director,
work-
I
Yeah, they
am in
work for
charge
her,
of
you're
them.
right,
Uh-huh.
you're right.
Yes, they're
I
good
am in charge
employees.
of them. If something goes wrong, I am
and who
ultimately
does the park
responsible
staff
for it.
answer to? Maybe the council?
The
No,
next
they
chain of
answer to
command
the
would probably
mayor.
be
Oh, they do?
We're the ones that litigate the laws in this village. We don't run it. We have an elected official that runs it. We have a village administrator that works for him.
Park
and we have
director,
a park
village
administrator that works for
administrator,
them.
mayor.
They don't work for
There's a
us.
chain of command that we have to go through, and if I have any issues, I take it to John. If John has any issues, he takes it to Gary, and then to the village, if it needs to go to that. There's a chain of command that we need to follow, and I always make sure I follow that chain of command.
I'm gonna ask the mayor that the special meeting, maybe an executive council, that we define what the duties of a council person is.
Not executive
Well,
session.
okay, open, I think the open, that's fine.
I-
But I wanna know what our boundaries are, because every month, for the last several months, we get into some sort of controversy, and it's over, nothing amounts to anything, and we're wasting a lot of people's time. Now, we all come out of our homes to come out here for
Better the village.
very little to run this village with the best conscience we can. But every month, it's this kind of stuff going on, and it amounts to nothing, a bag of chips. Come on.
So let me ask you real quick, what do you think my motivation is?
I have no idea.
We don't
Yeah,
know.
we don't know.
We just
We
don't
have
know.
no
Take a guess.
I'd love to know. You know, if I hazard a guess, you'd probably think I'm accusing you of something. I have no idea.
Please don't hazard guesses, folks.
I don't wanna hazard a guess. I don't know what your motivation is, and I'm going on the assumption that your heart's in the right place. But to me, if I had a question about something going on, I would bring it in front of this council before I ever
No,
went
that's-
out and asked people out in the park.
That's what I did.
You
No,
went
you
out and
didn't.
got on the people to first.
I asked him a simple question, if you
You
could,
could've asked them here in front of us, and then if we seen something, then we could've went out.
I asked
and
those
got
two
it.
guards, what can council do to make your job out here better? They brought up the chips. So I started looking into things
Oh,
and
the
looking
chips
at
ain't gonna make your job.
No, I'm telling you, that's what she said. We don't make a nickel on these chips. I wish we made money on these chips. I said, what are you talking about?
Since
Yeah.
I'm the park
It's up to
director,
Mayor.
for now on, if you have anything to say, please come directly to me. Since I'm ultimately in charge out there, please come to me, don't bother my guards. They have no say in anything. that
And
Oh,
goes
they
on.
don't.
And they,
Besides
and,
lifeguarding. Lifeguarding.
There's a chain of command.
Okay.
Yes. The chain of command works both ways, and I would like for that to go on. Because my guards are 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. They're not into this whole paperwork section and the whole ordering of things and seeing how invoices work and stuff. They don't know anything like that. They're going based upon what they've learned in high school or maybe a freshman year in college. Okay?
Okay.
They're going on their own personal opinion, and they don't have the education of the background of how things work. They know the chain of command that if they have a question or something's wrong, they come to me, they go to John, and then Gary. And then it gets brought up in a council meeting if it needs to go to that. And I would like it to work the same way.
Thanks for the education.
and why would I?
I don't
put
know.
Con chips out there and not make a dime on it. That makes no sense at all. I mean, we make money on those chips, or we wouldn't have them in there.
We have to, because every year, we end up with able to money out of the general fund to pay for the park.
yeah.
And we all struggle with it, so every time that we can make, that's what we're trying to do.
Well, and that's right, that's the better deal than what the Ball Rights chips is. Cause we had both at one time, and we changed from Ball Rights to Con.
And believe me, if John wasn't doing his job, if Gary wasn't doing his job, if Brittany, it would show up real fast. It
For
would
sure.
take-
I mean, I don't have anything to hide, that don't matter to
This place
me.
we'd be discussing, okay? We don't see, the rest of us don't see that. And we just don't see it.
But to make that statement that we don't make anything on it, that's ludicrous.
Well, I wanna know why you're accusing Gary of
I
lead
did-
stealing.
Let's rewind the tape. You show me where I accused Gary.
You
You
just
said I was
said,
taking chips
from the bar.
Yeah, but his name got brought up well before I
well,
asked that
who's the bar
question.
belong to?
I know you didn't have enough time to look at those. Did those make sense to you, the dates and the numbers?
Oh,
They don't.
Jesus, Craimony. Maybe he used
He's
his
got-
iPad,
he's
he's
got
probably
one-
got more
he's
than
got more than
more
pad.
than one ad, for God's sake.
They ain't gonna run in sequence from week to week because of what he saw. Good Lord.
Well, let me go over this just a little bit, because since you wanted us to read it, I read it a little bit closer, and I haven't absorbed all of it, but let me ask you a question. The second sentence of the first paragraph, the potential discrepancy revolves around the allegation that said snacks are, one, sold at a concession stands at cost of the concession stand. Two, mandated by Mayor Harrison, is the only snacks to be sold, and three, delivered to the park by other than typical delivery members, and four, potentially being sold by the park staff while some person or persons other than the park and or the village or property from said sales. Allocated by who? Who's making the
In
allegation?
the second paragraph, I addressed that.
No, we wanna know now.
Lori made that
Who's making
statement.
BS?
You want me to name the lifeguards that told me that? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
the only person that says that they're making
It was
any
3
allegation
lifeguards
is
in the
guy who
concession
wrote it,
stand at the
Stan
same
Poe.
time.
You're making the allegation.
I'm just answering your question. It was 3 lifeguards in the concession stand on that particular day.
That's-
You want their
at
names?
best- At best, that's hearsay. At best, that's hearsay.
You can call
You're
them.
the one who wrote up the document. You're the one.
All right, I'll give you the names. If you want the names, I'll give you the names.
Yeah, I would too.
I really say something to my guards, bring it to me, I will be happy to listen to you. I have an open door policy and have explained that to my guards. This is an issue about chips. I'm pretty sure there are more serious issues in this village than chips getting sold at the concession stand that we may make $300 off in the summer. I'm throwing it.
Like I said a few minutes ago, it's a piece of the puzzle, it's a pattern. I'll leave it at that.
And I will ask you this, from now on, if you throw up a paper like this, make sure you have the village mayor, permission to put Bettsville Village Council on the bottom of it, because that sounds like it's coming from all of us, and it's not.
No, it says internal document, Bettsville Village Council.
Bettsville Village Council, and I don't want Bettsville Village Council on anything that you draw up without his permission.
Well, it says from and to up there at the same
I
time.
don't care. I'm just saying, don't put us on there, because that ties all of us into it, and I don't wanna be tied into these things.
I don't read it that way, but I understand what you're saying.
It can be read that way. It can be
Well,
read.
like you say.
I would encourage you to look at these.
I did look.
Well, look at them, and then.
I did, that's why I brought them
And
up.
I'll tell you what, when we get the bill invoice on it, you look at it again, and it's gonna say exactly what's there, and.
The dates and the
you can
numbers
tell
won't
how-
match.
Huh?
The dates and the numbers won't
Those
match.
numbers are never gonna match.
So why is?
You seem to know a lot about the Cons business invoices.
I'm talking about
Jesus.
business in general, for Christ's sake.
Well, if you want to talk about business in general, how many companies do you know at the delivery door, they don't sign or initial a delivery slip? Do you know of one?
I sure didn't.
You get stuff delivered here, do you sign for it, or you just say, oh, thanks a lot,
No,
UPS
I get
guy?
lot of
mine
stuff,
delivered,
they
I
drop it
never
right at
sign
my door.
anything. They deliver stuff at the wastewater plant, chemicals and whatnot, I never sign a thing. So what is your issue? I guess the real question is what is the issue? With something that you think Gary has done?
The issue is I
or
would've-
Mr. No, let me finish.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Or Mr. Khan's business practices, which is not your problem nor any of your.
You asked what my issue was. My issue was I'd like answers to those 5 questions.
From who?
Anybody.
Didn't we just answer
I
it?
did
not answer.
What in the world more do you want?
All right, if you feel you've answered them, let's drop it for now.
What's the for
No.
now?
For
What's
now.
it for now?
Let's just get it
That
done
sounds
with.
like a threat.
See, and I can't have
Yeah.
you coming out and bothering my guards or myself about chips. I have more important things to do.
I won't bother you again about the chips.
We shouldn't bother him again, period.
Okay. Like I said, if
But
you
I
didn't
don't
hear me
know
the
what
first
you're
2 times.
trying to get out of it, but I mean,
Like I said
what
the
didn't we-
first 2
what didn't we
times.
answer?
Like I said the first 2 times, it's a piece of a pattern. Just stay tuned. You got 3.5 more years to deal with me, so
Stay tuned,
stay
watch
tuned.
Facebook tonight, be a big smear on
There
Facebook.
won't be nothing on
When you do
Facebook.
something for somebody with your business, do you invoice them instantaneously or?
Let's drop it.
No.
No,
I'm
do
not.
you?
It's a serious
How do you do
question.
your business?
I don't know that it has anything to do with this.
It's a business?
No, you're
It's a
questioning the
council
invoice
member.
practices of Mr. Khan. So when you do your business, do you invoice them instantaneously?
Has nothing to do with this, John.
Oh.
So we're not gonna get that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stay tuned.
Well,
You got,
here's why I do want to say one thing though. I'm not gonna be held hostage for 3.5 years.
No.
I'm telling you up front right now, Stan, we're trying to do the right thing. We're not, nobody's trying to do anything.
Scott, I've never questioned
Well,
a
I
single
understand.
thing you've done or
Wait a
said.
minute. I just want to, I mean, I'm just saying that, in my opinion, I mean, we're all trying to do the right thing.
No, no.
No,
That's where I
no,
differ.
Shut up. Well, listen a minute. I don't think anybody's here intentionally, that I can see, when I want to look into finances, I don't see any money, I mean, we're being audited, I mean, there's nothing that we can do without getting caught. I mean, we have these audits. I don't see how you think we're doing anything wrong. I don't understand where you think we're misappropriating money, or that we're doing anything against what's right for the village. We're making good decisions, we're trying to maintain the infrastructure for the best we can with the money we got to work with, we're trying to make good decisions. I don't see where you're coming from. I just don't see it. So, I mean, I know you got an
appreciate what
opinion,
you're saying.
but on the same token, you gotta give us, if you got a problem, then you gotta tell us what the problem is. You can't beat around the bush. Tell us what it is so we can discuss.
Well, this, I thought was pretty specific. This was one problem, this situation.
I'm gonna
But that's
tell you
just
right now,
reasonable.
this is my personal feelings, just my personal feelings, and every month after month after month, to me, it's to the point where it doesn't seem to me, in my opinion, rational. And I don't understand where we're going.
Well, at this point in the conversation, you guys are talking about it a lot more than I am. I was done 10 minutes ago.
You opened this up.
You opened
You
this
opened
up.
And I opened it up
And
by
you
saying
keep
I didn't
we
care to
give
go.
you an answer.
You can't stop it once you.
I didn't say we needed to address everything tonight.
Well, we will address everything.
If you want to,
Get it
sure,
done.
that's fine. If you
We're
want
gonna
to, that's fine.
continue as long as we think we need to.
That is
continue.
perfectly fine. I was just saying it wasn't my intention to drag it on and on tonight.
It's a pattern.
Why waste
Every
time
night
at another
there's
meeting?
there's
Let's
something.
get it done.
Every
Dark
month
mystery.
you have something, every month you have something
And-
to keep the place stirred up and you
Maybe
wanna
there
know
are
what the
things,
hell you're.
maybe there are things every month.
No, no, there isn't.
Well, stay
Now,
tuned.
I'll tell you what, as far as
Stay
I know.
Stay tuned, stay tuned to what? We wanna know
when
what
you
we gotta
say
stay
that,
tuned
That
for.
comes out as a threat.
Yes.
I don't appreciate the threat.
It's not a threat.
Stay tuned.
That's exactly what it is. You can call it a rose is still a rose. Okay, when you say stay tuned, you just wait. We'll see. When you start saying things like that, that's a threat. You
That's
know.
not a threat.
Does anybody else see that as a threat? Does
I would-
anybody in this room not see it as a threat other than Stan? Okay, we took our vote. It's a threat, Stan.
Okay.
That's how.
Well, I should reword that then.
Guys, we can't continue this. Not as we cannot do this. We're gonna have to come up with a resolution. I'm just saying,
I'd like to know what that would be.
yes.
You might wanna, before you do that, you might wanna do a little reading.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Here we go, the
you might
Ohio
want to
Sunshine
also.
Law.
Just saying.
You might want to
Oh, I have been.
Yeah, you should read into libel, you should read into.
You let me know when I hit that
defamation of
point.
Character.
Pretty close, right?
Oh, we will.
You should also read up on the village officer's handbook.
Okay.
We're gonna have to.
But I don't know what else.
I thought we were
to-
done.
I don't know what else to say to you.
Don't
other
have to.
than I don't know what you want.
Nothing else to be said.
But it just really makes me mad that you say that I'm taking chips to the bar.
I
on the
asked you a
concession stand.
question, have chips ever gone out there? I didn't say you did, I said have chips ever made it out there. I didn't say you did.
No, bull only, you did too.
I'm glad we record these, so if you,
Well, I'm.
Anybody,
yeah, we
don't
are.
edit them either.
Yeah,
Edited it,
yeah,
then
you
it's
edit
not
it and
public
edit all
record.
your stuff out.
they're not edited.
Uh-huh.
No, you're a bull.
You know,
Everybody knows they're edited.
alright, you show me when and where and we'll look at it. It's not
Oh, we can
edited.
look at it after the meeting.
Yeah.
You gonna sit here for another hour and watch that?
Can.
Can.
It says in that Ohio Sunshine Law book that we can. Have you read it also?
And I'd like you to point out where it says in here that you can
Any
look.
device that's used to record a public meeting can be reviewed.
Well, of course. Does it say, okay, just show me where it says that in detail, that we're gonna sit here another hour and do it tonight.
Let's do that after the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't know what you
Yeah,
guys
let's
decide.
keep going on. I mean, I
I'm
hope
perfectly fine stopping.
I hope council, is content with the way I answered the question.
I'm very.
I don't know what else to
Identify
say.
everything around here.
There's nothing. Okay, we're going on to old business. Okay, I got culvert down here. We're gonna have a pre-construction meeting, August the 14th at 3 o'clock in Bettsville.
Get off. Oh, wait, go back to work.
Oh, no, yeah.
What was the date, Gary? What'd you say?
August the 14th.
I can be here for 3:30.
And at 3 o'clock. The Mark Zimmerman, the engineer, will be here and all that, so it'll be, and Denningers.
And so everyone is aware, we did get a community development block grant to cover a portion of that. That is in the amount of $44,700, which is gonna make our portion just about $24,000.
Is that gonna be one of those precast things?
Yes.
Is it-
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, okay.
The bids come in quite a bit lower than the engineer's estimate, so that we did think we were gonna have to match almost half to
Mhm.
cover. Right.
Yeah, I think our share is 25.5. I think is what it'll come out
Oh,
to.
okay.
That's what Bree told me at regional planning. Our share was gonna be 25.5 and there's what?
Okay. So I was off on that, Scott, so it's good.
Okay, we talked about the photos for the 4th of July. I think it was a couple months ago when John Prophet was here, we said that we would table it and that we would discuss it and about his sewer tap and that. So up, I told him that I would call him and let him know what was
I think
going on with that. Um, I don't know what council's decision is. I know that John, I mean, for the good of the village and stuff like that, we can't be eliminating too many of these.
Right, but on the same token, I think we gotta be realistic about what we do with some of the other.
Yeah.
So we gotta be consistent. My only thing is, whatever we do, we be consistent with everybody. I mean, I understand John's position about, you know, the
Well,
cost.
it's just gonna make more for
Yeah,
everybody
everybody
else to pay, the more we eliminate.
Right.
But it wouldn't make our bills go up that much. You're talking what, $50 a month?
I'm just saying, when you keep
Yeah.
doing it over and over.
Well, yeah, but there isn't that many places in town that can happen. You know? And I really believe that it should happen for him.
And I'm not disputing, I just simply want to make you guys aware that it's a dangerous path when you start eliminating taps that people are paying.
A couple of months ago, I thought I'd ask how many properties were like his, and you said 5 or 6, to answer her question. So it's really not that many.
Totally understand your position on that, but in the interest of fairness, I think it's the right thing to do in this specific situation. But I do understand your concern. We based our
And now that we're leaning in that
officer on our
direction,
tax.
I honestly believe you almost have to follow suit with what you've done in the past at this point.
Well, I agree.
Because, it's been done for a couple other properties already.
Right, I agree, that's my.
That's where,
But
I wonder where he was going with that. Yeah, I said, yeah, you're right. And it's a fair thing. Come on. It's not being, enough said.
I think the other thing, I mean, we've got to be realistic, I mean, if you do eventually have to raise sewer rates or whatever in the future, I mean, you know, we've actually not raised the rates probably a couple of times already, right? Realistically. So, I mean, there was like a built into the system like 3%, so we just gotta kind of watch that balance point that we, you know.
We've maintained that 3, right, except for the sewer taps outside of town.
Correct. The last 2 years, we've not raised those due to the fact that they are quite a bit higher than the ones in town.
Right, we're catching up with them.
So I'm just saying that nobody's got to watch, and that we, you know, that they don't have to adjust, I think it's, everybody in the community understands what we're doing to be balanced here. You know, so.
I still think it's fair to do it.
Okay, well, I mean, just make a motion and what we do.
Eventually, the only problem is if there is a easement and stuff going on, if there's an alleyway that we own, right? I mean, but there's no electrical easement or anything I can find, so they're telling me, so.
But we also said that that particular plot of ground can never be used the way it was used before. We can never.
Unless they put, well, they can't put.
It'd have to be an awfully small house.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think our zoning will allow it.
right. Well, I think it's like a small house there, but you know,
Well, I think we'd have to approve
I
it.
believe to see, and that's the only thing that really throws this one different than the other ones. The other ones were able to combine the two
Make it
separate
like one.
properties,
Right,
and this one is not.
Good.
So,
because you have the alleyway.
but I don't think you're not allowed to put trailers anywhere other than the trailer court due to your zoning.
Right.
With that alley going through that property, it's too small to put anything other than really a trailer on it. So,
I think we're well protected. I mean, anything can happen.
falling into your, you know, that falls into your zoning also, so.
I just think it's the right thing to do, I mean, be consistent. My only thing is just be consistent. What we do. but
Somebody make a motion and.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Specify what the motion is.
Oh, the motion is, allow Mr. Profit to remove his tap, right? I mean, that's what basically we're saying.
Vacate the tap.
Vacate the
Yeah,
tap.
pay the tap off that.
But he has to pay to have a tap correct, I mean, to seal it, so we don't have water issues or something into our sewer system. So that's his expense to deal with. Right, it's not ours.
Okay, so the title of the motion is,
I guess removal is,
we have a
Vacating.
fiscal officer who has to write what the title is.
Vacate the tap off, I don't know what the parcel is.
I'm trying to remember what the address is.
I'll have to look it up, what's the
I think
address?
it's 311.
That sounds about right.
Sounds like that's the right number, but wait.
Well, we'll double check that
Double check
part.
the number.
John Profit though,
Yeah,
and he is to pay the, what?
the cost of capping it or whatever.
Sealing it.
Cost of
Sealing.
sealing it.
Decommissioning.
Yeah, that's the word.
Battleship.
Kind of.
Okay, Scott, you made the motion, Rob seconded it,
Yes.
second? Scott,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
Do we need to put a timeline for when to get that sealed then if we do this realistically?
It's sealed right now, as for being capped off from when the trailer was moved out. The only thing you really have to do is go. You would have to remove that trunk from the tab, I guess. Plug that tab on.
Plug that tab or seal it in the ground or whatever, you can mark or whatever.
Well, I'll tell him to get with you to
And
Tell
I'll
me
get
what he
with
has to
Dave
do,
and
okay?
double check how he
Yeah.
wants it
Yeah.
abandoned,
okay.
and,
So we do it so it's sealed correctly and you don't have
right,
future
because we don't
problems.
want any infiltration.
Right, we don't need any more water issues than we already had. Right? So,
Okay. That's all I have under old business. Anybody got anything else to bring up under old business? If not, we'll go on to new business. Did get an estimate for the EMS building to put a new roof on, doors, windows. Because snow blows in the windows with them closed and the doors not good. The roof needs replaced, and I have an estimate. I have one estimate I got from Eric Devaney Construction, town feller. It's $5,801.01.
one thing.
Actually, we had two estimates on that. We had
Yeah,
one
Rook-
from
Rook
Rook's
School.
School also,
He was
but
a lot
that was
higher.
quite a bit more.
Yeah, it was twice.
What was that name again, Jared?
Eric Devaney Construction.
It's on to the.
How's he spell his first name?
Huh?
How's he
I'm sorry.
spell his first
Who's
name?
the other one?
Eric, E-R-I-C.
C.
Rook's
Okay.
School.
Oh,
The one that put the roofs on out to the porch.
And that was quite a bit higher than you say, about twice or?
I got some old shingles you guys can use.
No, I threw them away already.
nobody else?
I got, they're different colors.
Or we just put it out. And then we don't have to put it out for
Joyce,
a bid.
you want a nice EMS. It's cold in there, no
But,
better December.
I mean, if you wanna put out the bid, that's fine. I don't think we're gonna find anything much, but, and it says for the job to get ordered and started, I require the money for materials down upon agreement, which is $3,461.01. Once the job is completed, the remainder of the labor will be paid, which is $23.40.
Once the job's done, whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't tell you what kind of shingles, windows and everything we do.
From Lowe's,
Yeah.
everything from Lowe's.
and there's the one corner and stuff. I'll send it around, everybody can look at it, or we'll make copies of it, so you can all have it. But I mean, we gotta get something done with it.
Yeah.
And it comes out, I think it's a pretty good bid, really. 'Cause like when I had my roof put on, it cost me $5,800.
Bear, that was supposed
My
to be a
roof
couple
done.
years ago, that's.
For your
a
whole
bear
house?
right there.
Huh?
For your whole house?
For my house down here, yeah, it cost me $5,800, but
It cost me $70 to get my house and garage done, just the roof.
Really?
Tell you what.
Just for that little tiny building, they want that much?
No,
That's
that's
to do
what
with-
we're saying, that's less than $6,000.
No, oh, for the doors and
Doors
skirts,
in.
oh, okay.
That's pretty cheap.
I don't know, Window World's real cheap.
We'll do it.
Yeah, because he's paying on their
What's
window.
that? You do it?
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Your labor's cheap, though, when you do it yourself.
We don't have no
I
next.
can come and do it for you. It might cost you a little more.
Yeah, well, what I was just saying, we don't have the next. I don't have anything.
Over next to the door,
So we're gonna do that next.
next to the door.
So you shall have it.
No,
Oh,
I was
I
looking
bet
for
you
the fire department.
Look at this.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it's
like
like-
that's the top. Just noticed it was missing.
What's that?
Overall,
Oh, no, shoot that up.
And just so you know too, if anybody has any questions, that we can't get a bid from Mike Snell, because he's an employee of the village.
Right.
He's assistant chief, he gets paid, so otherwise we'd have had one from him too.
Yeah,
But see, we cannot do that with him.
yeah, we had an issue one time before, we
Yeah.
tried that.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can't enter into a
you just
contract
cannot do that. And if you all want us to get more bids, we can do it, but I don't think you're gonna touch it.
I don't think you'll have anybody touch that.
I'm gonna say that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be hard to do consult with that, these are,
But if there was an option, say to go the 30 or 40, is that?
Yeah, you're the lowest guy there, Bill, you can tear that apart.
That's, he's picking it apart.
Is it picking-
Yeah,
the shingles are low end shingles,
Are they?
yeah,
Okay.
they're a 70-mile-an-hour shingle, they're not a 130-mile-an-hour shingle or nothing. They're a 3-tab, not a federation.
130-mile-an-hour building will fall down.
Yeah.
And that's what your insurance will tell you. The wind.
Eric will put my addition.
He's a pretty good, he's a perfectionist, I mean, he's really good.
You gonna paint the door when it's in?
Huh?
You gonna paint the door when it's in?
Somebody will.
I thought you were the official door painter.
Painted this one.
I know.
I'm gonna paint it.
Darn good at it too, you did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
That brush will travel.
Yeah.
I should've made copies of it and give it to all of you, so.
so what is that, something we gotta make a decision on, is that something
Why
we need
for
to,
that?
today?
Well,
Hey,
I mean, the sooner the better, I think, we wanna get it done before the weather changes, I mean, it's not gonna get, the longer we wait,
Can
it
we
might
vote
get
on
more.
it tonight?
Huh?
Can we go ahead and vote on it
You
tonight?
can.
Tell you what, it don't take long to eat up $5,000.
Oh, no.
He's being a pretty good steward there.
Yeah. Well, the issue was, we know that we've had a lot of these issues with buildings we've been trying to address the last couple of years, I mean, with the police department, with the restrooms and the fire department, that kind of stuff, I mean, I think we have to be good stewards and maintain the property, because we don't all know that if we don't, the cost
There's gonna be a lot
is a
more.
lot more for the goal,
Well,
and that's the other issue we got too.
not only that is this EMS.
Yeah, that's something we can
thing
talk about.
progresses,
Yeah.
that building's probably gonna start getting used more.
Yeah, I agree, so that's something we can probably talk
And
about.
I say, he's part of the community, if there's something he does for something like that, you know.
He would make it right.
He'll make it right.
Can I make a motion then that we go ahead and
You
accept
stance
it?
it,
No.
make sure he
God,
sees
Yeah,
it. Um,
he can understand.
But yeah, while going around with that, I've been at meetings with EMS, Ken Majors, and,
Thank you.
we met with, the last one we had, we met with Jackson Township, Liberty Township, us, Bettsville, and we've invited Pleasant, but they didn't show up. And at that meeting, the consensus to the townships and that was, let's go with Bascom, see if they'll take us. And then, because they got the manpower now, plus we still have, we'll still have the ambulance. Ken wants the ambulance here, the ambulance must stay. We just gotta figure out how we're doing this.
I'm gonna man it.
Yeah, and, Bascom has enough people to send over, what we don't have. So that we could be manned 24/7, instead of, most of the days we're out, but at night we're pretty well covered, but.
Well, there's a pretty good article on the paper.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been working with them, Steve from, Jackson Township sent a letter to Bascom, the EMS, that see if they would accept us. I know they told me that they was going to, but, we sent the letter, then they gotta have their meeting. And we also have a backup plan if if they do not want us, then it'll go Jackson, Liberty, and Bettsville together, and they'll be put under one levy for that.
Center,
Huh?
That's what?
Jackson Center.
Yeah, Jackson Township, Seneca, not Sandusky,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pleasant is talking about going into Green Springs.
Huh?
Pleasant is
Oh.
talking about going into Green Springs.
So I guess when we had.
But I mean, we have
They're
we're gonna
heading
have
more
something
towards a
come up
private
and,
ambulance.
Yep.
and that, so,
They're going.
That was our contingency plan, basically, Steve sent the letter and we inquired to see if they are interested, make sure that, that our timing was that hopefully by the end of September, October, somewhere, at least have a direction if they're gonna let us join. If not, then we will go to our backup plan and start putting together, the finance, how we're gonna do a levy and all that other stuff, so we can put stuff on the ballot for next spring, if we have to go that route.
What was the other township, Jackson, Liberty,
and Bettsville.
That's what.
It's the three
Well,
other-
we are Liberty Town.
Yeah,
For Liberty Township, but
but, I mean, the levy would have to be for Bettsville.
so we're just trying to figure out how to make this thing work. The problem is getting the resources to demand the ambulance, and we're just trying to get.
You know, what we're trying to do is have the 24/7 deal,
Coverage,
and we should be able to do that once, the levy reason is for to pay the
Pay the
people, like
yeah.
$3.50 an hour to be on standby and stuff. They can stay at home, whatever, and still get paid $3.50 if it's their turn to be on. And then they get like $30 a run if they actually do a run too, so. I mean, it's a little incentive, that's what everybody's paying, and hopefully everybody will stay the same. And they kinda agreed that they would. So you say, well, I'm paying $3.50, I'll give you $4.50 if you come over here with it.
But the problem comes down to getting volunteers, and that's where these, I mean, that's really. the
I mean,
biggest
they
issue
got a
we
lot of
have.
hours. How many hours you guys to get in to be one?
Um,
Betty just did
we
that too.
don't have like a set standard, but we're low in manpower. Last week, I was just telling them, last week I ran, I think, 6 days last week, 5 or 6 days last week, and they were 12-hour shifts. This week I'm on call 3 days, and I'm covering 12-hour shifts.
Do you sleep at all?
Maybe 4 hours a night.
You can do that when you're young, you get older.
But I guess what I meant, Brittany, how many hours did it require to become an EMT?
Oh, it's a 6-month course, and you go 5-hour nights for 6 months, so 2 days a week. And then you have to do clinical hours. You have to log in a bunch of clinical hours. It depends on which school you go to.
But you can
But
say
it's all the same.
300 and some hours probably. to
Oh,
be-
yeah.
Plus, then your required, number of CE hours per year.
Yes.
Which-
Continuing education hours. We have an allotted time to get a certain required amount of continuing education hours in. Otherwise, our certifications, I guess, could be taken away from us or something like that. Or we have to do a refresher course to get them back.
It's a lottery as to who gets on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
But I do wanna commend you, Brittany, cause you took the EMT class, you're an EMT for Bettsville now too, and then now police officer, I mean, that takes a lot, you're a pretty smart young lady.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You guys have that job? I am good there.
That's next.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just kidding, just kidding.
Okay, so do you guys wanna vote on it then tonight, or accept this bid, or do you wanna get more bids, what do you want me to do?
No, I think we should just go ahead and do it.
I don't think you're gonna get a cheaper deal.
Well, I don't think so either, but I mean, if council desires that we get more bids, we will.
I'll make a motion to accept Eric's bid.
We'll second it.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yes.
Stan?
No.
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Okay, you're fast. Okay. I'll let Eric know. Or anybody else can, I don't care. so we get something going. We don't have a magistrate report tonight, so we can't approve that. And we talked, the estimates for tower communications, John covered it when he was talking. So.
What was the limit you said that we don't need bids on? 25,000.
That's 25,000 we'll have to do.
We spent, and I think in a good way, a considerable amount of time talking about Eric and his bid and if we needed more bids. Anybody remember how much time we spent on that $5,000 security system? Did we bid that out? Did we spend even 1 minute on that? Anybody
Are you
remember?
talking about the park or what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Oh, it's been more.
The first I found out about it was when it was paid for. I'm just saying.
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah, I got a good memory, son.
Oh, we went over that at length.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Were
I was
you
sitting
here,
that year,
Dan?
you're sitting
I
there,
probably
we went
was.
over that.
I mean, were
Because
you
we
at the
just had a
meeting that
duck
night
out.
or whatever?
On-
You know how we do things?
I've been to about the last 24 council meetings before I came on as council.
Well, we talked-
I usually sat over there.
Yeah, whatever, but I know we talked about it because that was right after we
Because
had
that
the
was
property.
right after we had the theft in the garage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they stole the lawnmower.
Do you remember how many bids we asked for or got? I do remember Garion said he had a good buddy, those the words, that had the security system at the bar. Isn't it the same guy?
Gary should get a lawyer.
Same guy?
I
It's
didn't even hire the North Coast guy.
a simple question. Same guy who did the security
That
at your
was
bar,
me, because
did the
he's
park.
Same guy that did all of our locks for the wastewater plant.
That answered my question. Same guy who does your security for your bar got the bid for $5,000.
Stan, I mean, we have a village administrator to manage the village.
Well,
What
that's-
his job is. That's what his job is. I mean,
Maybe that's what I've got a problem with.
Well, then.
Then
We
we
got a
have a
problem.
problem with
why don't we
you.
do it?
Let's just start throwing it out there, go.
I won't say stay tuned. I'll think of a better phrase for him.
Well, I mean,
No, right now.
No,
Not right now.
No. That's all right. I'm thinking of a better phrase than stay tuned. I
I
haven't
had
thought of
nothing
it
to
yet.
do with the ordinance.
Okay. I just asked if it was the same guy.
And when they bought that system, it was not the same guy. Another guy owned that company, and we're with Habitat. We're not with Roger at North Coast. That's who these guys are from. My security company is Habitat.
I remember having this conversation with another
but,
councilman
no,
at the
Stan, I
time.
think it's important. I mean, I understand your concern, but on the same token.
I just
Well,
asked
I'm
a
just-
simple question. We could have
well,
dropped
no,
it.
Listen, here what I'm saying is that we wanna trust our employees. We're hiring people, we're entrusting them to make good decisions. We monitor what's going on, but on the same token, we're not gonna do day-to-day monitoring what's going on unless there's something that just doesn't seem right. I mean, the point being is, you hire people to do a job, and it doesn't matter if it's the park director or the police chief or whatever. I mean, we bring people into our organization that we trust that's gonna make good decisions, and our job is to make sure that they're not doing something totally, unlawful, or stealing or anything. We monitor that stuff. That's why we do the audits. That's why we watch what's going on in the spending. I mean, if you don't trust your employees, why the hell do you hire them?
So that is how we ran the former police department too. We trusted them to do their job.
Well, Stan,
Until we found
now
out
we had
that
problems.
we,
No,
those places, and we did something about it as a council.
right?
Okay.
I mean, that's
Maybe I'm a
why you
slow
have- That's why
learner.
you have check and balances. If you've got a problem, you eventually comes to a head and you resolve it. But on the same token, if you can't trust your employees, then why are we hiring people? I mean, we spend this money so we make sure that the water system works, that somebody's out there maintaining the streets and doing snow plowing and all that stuff. And it's hard to get people to do that stuff nowadays. I mean, if you go out and industry and hire people, you find out how hard it is to get good quality people. And you gotta take care of your employees, you gotta trust your employees. And it's very important that we do that.
I think
And
trust.
we've been elected to be trustworthy, and people trust us, and,
We live in this
or
community.
they wouldn't elected us.
You know, if you wanna see any.
If you have anybody run
failed
against you.
company out there, take a company where you do not empower your employees, that you do not trust them, that you don't put, some sort of, responsibility on them, because they clam up, and you don't get any productivity out of them at all.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's checks and balances, and you gotta watch, but as a group, as a committee.
Right.
Then we can sit down with a well-balanced, discussion and decide what to do about it. exactly what we did with the police department.
All I asked was how many bids we had for the security system. That's all I asked, but
And we
still didn't get
said-
an answer.
And the answer would be that it doesn't make any difference, because we don't have to bid anything under $25,000. But it was well taken care of, and we did discuss it.
When we did that, I got a bid from them, and, Blue Book is a book that I order out of all the time for water supplies, and it's got a little bit of everything in there, and it's got camera systems in it. Northern Tool and Hydraulics has camera systems in it. Everything was comparable in price for the units themselves. The only extra we paid was for the installation.
Are you gonna question everything we've done
No.
for the last?
Last
10,
month, I don't
15 years?
remember questioning anything last month.
Oh, that was a surprise.
At any rate,
Yeah.
just
Doesn't-
because you
well,
weren't part
we're
of
gonna get in an
council,
argument, yeah.
you weren't part of council, and you weren't coming here at that point in time.
I was coming here at that time. Don't say I wasn't.
You're not listening to what I say.
You just said I wasn't coming here at that
You didn't
time.
let me finish my sentence.
Okay, finish it. I'd like to hear
You were
that.
not here when we hired John as the village administrator. You weren't in this room. And when we did, Scott, along with everybody else here, told him what his responsibilities and what we expect him to do. And one of those things is exactly what he did. And before he did it, he came to us and we approved it. That's it, that's the end of the subject.
John does a damn good job,
Damn
so
right he does.
we're lucky to have him.
I mean, there's a lot, I was not especially fond of John when I first met him. Okay, it took me within 30 days to find out I was wrong. And I watched the guy, and he's done a hell of a job. There's no person working for this village that has, deserves accommodation more than John, the way he took care of this village last winter. Right. He was here and he wasn't getting paid for it. He did it on his own. And I don't think that what we're doing right here is, in my opinion, is getting really close to what we would call where I come from, harassment. And we're going to get to a point where these people are not gonna want to do this for our village.
Right.
And then we're gonna be in a bad shape.
Does anybody have anything on their new business?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
We're probably gonna have to do some reappropriation of some money to deal with the culvert expense from all the general fund. We have the money in there, but I think we gotta reappropriate it so that that Judy can, adjust our budget to reflect the needs that we have to deal with the culvert. And since we use most of the money for the buildings and grounds out the park for the, short houses and all that stuff, we probably have, for the CMS stuff, we're probably have to reappropriate like $10,000 for, have some extra money there to take care of the building ground for the rest of the year, just so we have money in the fund, so we pay for these things. I mean, it's just a matter of moving money out of general, and then, so we can make sure that we have the funds in the right account, so we can tap it. But I think we'll probably have to do a resolution, do all that stuff, I'm assuming, right?
There's a form, and I don't know if you know where it is. Larry, I gave him a form to use.
Just fill in the blanks?
Yeah, it's a fill in the blank form.
Is it right?
Just ask him where the fill in the blank form is.
So I guess maybe Angela, maybe we can fill the blanks in, and then we can
Well, you'll have to pass it.
We'll pass it to the next
pass,
council.
You
pass
have
this
to pass
council,
it.
right?
If you pass it, it has to be as an emergency.
Right,
Waiver of 3 reading rules, which takes 5 votes.
right, right. So that's
Well,
what
if we
we,
got that form, do you know where it's at or anything?
No.
I was gonna say, if we got that form, we can still do it tonight.
yeah. And then,
I gotta be a bit better.
And I mean, I have one also. But that's
I got work in the morning.
yeah. And then the other thing too, then under the water, we have to reappropriate for the laundry too. That's why $10,000 just cover that, installation costs and stuff that we just talked about earlier tonight, that we need to do. So I just wanna make sure that we adjust the budget to reflect those changes that we have to do to make sure everything's balances out. So I guess Angela, if you wanna fill in the blanks, and then we can appropriate that.
I'll get ahold of
I mean, if necessary, if we had to do it quicker, we can have a special
Meeting
meeting
or something.
and just do that.
Or just ask me enough action.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that we
Or email.
always track what we're doing with this money,
Sure.
so.
It'll have to be a special meeting because I
Yeah.
gotta get the water tower.
Yeah, so we'll,
Does any concern or questions about that, or?
No, I
No,
think it's wise.
I mean, the money's there, it's not that we're hurting or anything, it's,
We're
we
just
just gotta
setting another
moving it around.
where we can use it without having, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure everybody understands why we're doing it, so, you know, so it's nothing's out there on the slide.
I knew it the other night. This is when they'll be our, before the rain.
Well, I think it's important to do it up front,
Sure.
you know,
Well,
it's
no,
gonna have to be done, I mean, we gotta do it, I mean,
Why we pay you the big bucks?
well, we got, I mean,
Well, you get that $50 a month, buddy.
well, I think it's important that we maintain the buildings, because I think for a long time, people in the city, were, you know, as a village, we're.
Okay,
Go.
while we're here, do you wanna set a special meeting date that we can do this on? What's good for, is Tuesdays best for you guys, or?
Yeah, Tuesdays at the regular time. Except for, when's the 12th? That, we can't do it then, because that's the open house at the school.
Yeah,
And the 13th is the one over in Oakwood, so I'll be at that.
On Tuesday, yes.
19th.
19th or the 26th?
Let's go for the 19th.
okay, August 19th.
If you need all 6 votes, I'll be out of state, so on the 19th.
We only need 5.
We're in New River that night.
I'm gonna be in New Legal.
Yeah, we're in New River.
August 19th, is that?
Yeah, August 19th.
Yes.
You wanna make it 6, can we make it at 6, or is that too early?
a wake-up call.
Oh, we'll give you a wake-up call. Come right down there and get you.
I know it does too.
So you guys wanna do it at 6 o'clock? That's for
Is
6?
6 okay, or do you want 6:30?
6 is fine, as long as, the only reason why it's at 6:30, it's,
Normal.
my car starts up and starts heading down this way.
You got a train?
Yeah, I don't know.
Call me tomorrow if you don't. If you don't have it.
August 19th, 6 o'clock, special meeting.
I'll give you the state Angela, so that way you have the numbers, and that way you have the right numbers.
Reappropriate. Okay. Anybody got anything else to bring up?
No.
Okay.
Saying that's massive reflux now.
See a couple of those happy meals and that's.
Next, the meeting date, magistrate court's August 20th at 6 o'clock. I don't know if we'll have one, but that's what's on the thing. So if nobody has anything else, why I will.
Zip the gavel.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
One.
Hey, Gary, did you have a? You got time to contract for Jackson and. Gary, you got a packet of stuff? Yes, I know you got copies.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep you wait tonight?
Hey, you're out awful late there, Hood. You're awful late.
Well, too long, I'll be calling,
There you go. Nice seeing you, Louis.
Good night, Gary. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, please do.
Gary, I'm gonna do this, I got rid of my house phone, phone number.
Okay. Is that 35 or 55? 35?
Give her 10
Yeah,
years.
3515.
I got 10 years on her, so.
I have the list that you're doing.
It's gonna be rough.
I was adding them up, but I didn't put anybody's name specifically, but if you want, Vesuvius was the one.
You know, I mentioned that door.
1,000.
Okay, I
One
got
night,
two
I
500
started
and
mowing
another
grass.
100.
Yeah.
I mowed down there one strip, came back. Down the second one.
The Legion gave 500, the American Legion,
And I noticed that.
and then the Sons of the American Legion gave 500.
And then the door was
Okay.
open. It's like, I wondered if
Vesuvius
it
Valley,
or what.
Ladies Auxiliary Legion,
We
100,000.
were out on fire one that night, 3 to 2.
And the only way I could pay it by like,
No.
get a
Okay.
vote.
Gee, what would you do about the Legion, huh?
Yeah, well, no, Legion got, and they also had, during the year, they donated $500 for the Little League, so.
Yeah.
I mean, they are good.
Got that stuff, what is it, something that tattoos.
Hey, you got that good pen here?
How you fine?
But they were over there.
You need this cover.
Slapped on the.
No.
You know it well by now. We're out by the fire range, seen them and they boom. So, and I know she's got rental houses too.
Probably, oh, I'm sure. That's the hard part about not having anybody on, it's like, they know, you know. Now I think we got it under control. Oh, you stuck. Got the paper.
The cheat sheet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
All right, I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right.
Me
Thanks for
too.
coming over, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy, good seeing you again, buddy.
Can you reach under there and unplug me? You are too kind.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's all there is to it.
Hey. They were saying something that when you set up your camera and then you left the room.
Yeah.
Were you recording at that time?
I don't know.
Because I guess it matters to them if you were recording prior.
Really?
Because the meeting wasn't in session. And for you to record, one person in the room has to know they're being recorded. At least one person. So if you were prior to that, then.
Good point. I'll check it and.
Well, we'll check it before we go.
Okay.
So it can't be erased, or so there's no allegations that it's being erased.
Well, if I was, how would I erase that part of it, the first few minutes? I do know that I set it up, then I had to make copies of this one sheet. I ran down there quick to make copies. But if I,
Just for your benefit, our benefit, so no one's saying anything for you, the very beginning of it, to make sure that nothing was recorded prior to that. Because if it was, then we have a problem.
I can understand that. I'm just wondering if it was, how I can erase the first minute, or a minute of when I ran down there and when I came back. That I don't know. Were they afraid I said something I shouldn't hear, maybe?
I don't know, but it's not that, it's just that, that's the way my understanding of the law is, nothing can be recorded, especially if one person in the room is like wiretapping, someone has to know that it's
Gotcha.
taking place. Obviously, with the way things are going, I don't want any allegation against you, I don't want,
Right.
I'm kinda stuck in the middle, so.
No, I can appreciate that. Thank you. I haven't used, that one's been giving me trouble, that's why I brought this one, the two of them, because that was acting up.
That's still tape, or is that disc, or?
This is tape, that's what I mean, I don't use this very often. Oh wait, I have to plug it back in, because the battery, I haven't used it so much, the battery
It doesn't hold a charge.
doesn't hold the charge, it's gotta be plugged in.
Do you still have a problem with stone trucks? Because I had Melissa sit down there, I sat down there the one day for about 2 hours.
You know, this past maybe week to 10 days, not as many, I don't think. I don't know if it's just their orders or their you know, their schedule,
Probably, yeah.
but, not as many.
Is that-
Probably the- Right.
I sat down there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours the other day and watched. I sat down in the alley by, what the heck was that kid's name? He used to race go-karts. Lived right down across from, who's the older lady, used to be a school teacher?
Betty Andrews?
Betty Andrews, lives across the street from the alley that runs.
Smith.
Smith, yeah,
Aaron
Aaron
Smith,
Smith.
yeah.
Yeah, he used to race go-karts. Yeah. So that's how I know who he is.
Now it's reached its end, so I'm gonna rewind it all the way to the end.
Oh,
It's
no.
only taken, well, it'll take an hour and 32 seconds. Well, no, not, it won't
That's how
take,
long it is.
yeah, it won't take that long to erase it.
Oh, if we start that one then, so we can see what that one.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that this one wasn't, because I don't even think I had it set up there. I had that one.
Just for the simplicity of.
No, I understand. At the same time, this should start right away.
How much are these?
No, believe it or not,
I thought about getting one since we're having a kid.
it did stop recording. See, that's another reason I brought that. That records longer, up to 2 hours.
Okay.
This records, I think, 90 minutes, and it doesn't have enough battery to.
Do you have a charger for it?
Hold on. You wanna follow me home? I don't wanna make you go out of your way, but
You want to just go grab it?
do I have a battery? I mean, a charger that'll work? This doesn't use
How do you
this.
normally?
Charger, has a,
ESD or?
oh, here it is, right here. Yeah,
Okay, we'll just plug it in. We can plug it in with the PD then.
plugged in where?
Over at the PD then. We'll just plug it in the computer.
Sure. However you wanna do it, if you wanna do that now, you can while it's.
We'll wait for this and then
I'm
we'll.
gonna run maybe to the boys' room, how that
Okay.
lines. I'll be right back.
So that's the only thing that's on at the beginning of that. You started it today. So there's not like, you weren't taking like.
I was testing it today. I don't remember because I haven't used it for a long time, so I was testing it at home. But I think I rewound it to the very beginning and started recording here.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
That'll work. So I didn't want there to be a half hour of you, you know,
And it
or
turns to the-
birds.
Yeah.
We're trying to go through it.
Right.
We'll just do that then and there won't be any more problems.
You know, at the same time, I know he has got us often, and they do that a lot before the meeting starts. You can do that. You can't talk business before the meeting.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know what the rules on that are. That's something you should bring up with.
Looks good.
Oh, yeah, well, there was.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know anything
And
about.
he even said, I'll talk to him about it.
It's my understanding, can't get more than
Yeah.
2 council members.
It's gotta be a majority.
I thought it was more than 2 council members talking, constitutes a meeting.
You might be right.
So, yeah, I'm not sure. I just, that's bits and pieces I've picked up from here in Fosterville. I don't know.
I don't expect an answer. This is what they call a rhetorical question. So you can just smile like you are now. What do you think my motivation is? I like the village. I grew up there. I'm not out competing. But I see things that I question, and I see things that,
I think it might,
and I know they,
I think it might be the approach.
I don't know how to soften it or.
You know, it's just some people's personality, and I understand that. You can question anything that I've done, and you have, and you should try to text you right back.
Well, I gave them that it said, you know, here's what questions I like answered, and I tried to approach it when I started talking, and said, I don't expect us to go into this in detail, but I'd like the answers to these questions, and I went from there.
But when there's, in their perception accusations made, they're gonna wanna, you know. it's
Yeah, like the
somebody-
first thing they asked, well, who told you this?
Right.
I said allegation, or I don't know if I used allegation.
Right, but you know, if anybody were
It was
to.
brought to my attention, by who?
Well, that's general,
Yeah,
people are gonna wanna know that.
yeah, but, no, that's, and I even said, that's not the point. In my second paragraph, I said, at the right time, I'll be happy to say who it was, but I don't wanna get them involved and get everybody, we gotta go talk to so-and-so and threaten them, or warn them, or advise them, when
I
they
mean,
shouldn't be.
I see both sides,
Those
because I'm the outside.
three
but-
lifeguards should not have been put in the middle. I just wanna know what they were told. At the right time, if it escalated, then of course they would have come in and say, yeah, I told you down there. but why put them in a position where Brittany would go talk to them like she said she would and explain?
That's her
it?
job.
But,
I mean, I understand your side,
Yeah.
but it ultimately is her job. I don't know how these things are handled. This is my first time doing the administrative side of it. I mean, when I was just an officer in Foster, it's easy for me to go in, I don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
they
any of
brought
this,
up to
but
me today.
here it's a learning
Okay.
experience for me and for all of us, I
All
think.
this work we got, we hired a bunch of guys for the summer, well, let's face it.
juice that up, I guess. Plug it in, I can plug it in.
You know, all this work.
Now you don't have to bring cord.
No, I don't, it's not a micro USB, this is old school, so bigger than a micro USB.
You're not
That's
really
what it
working,
is.
because I said, keep it that way. I said last week, it was like, you know, just during the week, what I have, 48 hours, but I drove 650 miles too, going to these jobs. And it's like, that wears your ass out, so, yeah. Yeah. I'll ask her.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah, that would have been before the meeting. That's when I was getting this one,
I think
that
that's
other
where we have a small problem.
ready to put up there. So I'm wondering how I can erase
We're not gonna erase,
the first
what we're gonna do is
couple of minutes.
I'm gonna hold on to the tape.
oh,
And I'm gonna talk to Rick, I'll put it in our evidence room, I'm gonna talk to Rick and find out what we
That
should.
sounds fair. I'd like not to erase it until, if it has to be, then please tell me ahead of time.
Right.
But, that's fair enough for me. I think I stopped it a couple of times testing the remote because I put a new battery in the remote.
Trying to get it going.
Yeah, and I don't know that I stopped it when I went down to the office and looked in the copies and, so probably didn't
So it's
stop the whole thing.
Again, I'm not taking it because I think it's, that you're
Right,
trying to do
no,
something
you
malicious.
just straight down the middle, no?
And I don't know exactly what the, I know that you can't record anything if somebody doesn't know they're being recorded. At least one person in the conversation has to know they're being recorded.
Gotcha.
Is my understanding.
No,
of the law.
that, I don't think I would wanna be it unless somebody knew.
Right. I don't think you're doing maliciously, I think it was kind of your testament, but that's been brought to my attention, so.
Nope, that sounds fair enough to me. You just want the tape or you need, you don't need a camera?
Well, I have to be able to play it.
Oh, yeah, I guess you would. All right, that's cool. Can I get a receipt or something
Yes.
saying you got my camera?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds cool. And we can, maybe overnight I'd lay in bed and think of a way to erase the first 5 minutes.
I'm sure there is, once you probably put it, you probably make it digital and then do it, but I don't know if there's.
I know how it could be done. Record over the first 5 minutes. So I could say, okay, now we're gonna go up to the meeting starts, now I'm gonna backtrack, and it's 3 minutes till the meeting
Right,
starts.
find out when it.
And I'll record the wall for the first 3 minutes, and then that part's gone. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, you
Talk to
gotta
Rick
have
and
some
find out what
direction.
needs to be done.
Well, like I say, I'll be happy to do even just that. So, yeah,
Okay,
would you please? Yeah, that would work. So, well, in fact, I'd do that right now if you want, make it easy. But it's up to you. Erase the first.
well, I wanna talk to Rick
I
and
can
find out.
forward it to when we're both agreed that the meeting started, then I'll backtrack to, and see what the timestamp was, 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Say, okay, we're gonna erase the first 4 minutes and 32 seconds.
Before we do that, let's talk to Rick and find out what he wants done.
Okay.
He's kind of the legal guru when it comes to, especially the meeting situation.
Right.
Find
No,
out what-
that sounds fair, whatever you wanna do.
If we could be in agreement on
I'll
that.
give you the power too, you'll need that.
Yeah, that's right.
And then this one, if you got the time,
Yeah, we'll run over and check that out.
I'm almost positive, if that wasn't even set up before I went to that, got back from making the copies and.
And then I'll get your receipt over here.
All right, sounds good.
Or we-
No, not at all. I appreciate the straightforward approach.
See you, Jim.
You leaving? Have a good one.
I'll be over to the office.
I'm gonna hit the voice thing quick.
Okay.
You can hold this.
Well, I suppose I better get rolling. Good to see you though.
I'll be right out.
Hey, if you're around, swing by.
All right, we'll do.
See ya. See ya.
Hi there. I spilled something on them. I'll just have to show you. It's not really.
I can get you some cans, that's no big deal. Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure which side you go with, but. Yeah, if you don't mind, 'cause I'm good like some of these.
What size do you wear? 30?
God, dude, I won't tell you 34s, but I know that ain't the
Yeah, I was 17 when I was in a 34.
I was a 32.
I was in a 34 one time, when I was 17.
Oh, don't bullshit.
No, I was 17, I guarantee, but I ain't 17 now. My name's Stan, nice to meet you.
I'm Jeremy. I would say 30, gosh, I fluctuate so much, like, do they have a spandex on this?
Yeah, they expand.
36 will work then. Yeah, unless they run small and go 38.
You go by Stanley?
Either one.
Alright, what's your middle initial?
B, as in boy.
DOE.
Mm-hmm.
112.
112 Union. Yep.
Yeah, so I'd say 30s, if they run small, go 38, 34.
Okay.
I appreciate that, sir.
No problem. We're gonna put it under safekeeping for now. Is that fair enough to say?
Sure.
It's not evidence, it's not confiscated, it's just safekeeping.
Whatever, yeah, that's fine. Jeremy, have you and I communicated email? Did you send in like a resume several months ago and that kind of thing? Your name sounds familiar.
I sent one to, Gary, yeah, probably.
Jeremy Tipton?
Wayne.
Oh, I'm thinking of a guy named Jeremy Tipton. There was a Jeremy Tipton that was interested in the Chiefs team.
What do you call this, Heineken?
Sony Heineken. I just had to look up the model today to get the user manual. I think it's TRV, or no, I'm sorry, DCR-TRV460.
DCR.
Yeah. DCR-TRV460. I had to look that up to pull up a manual on it because I haven't used it for a long time. Still works fine, but it's old school. And I don't really need anything.
With the charger, right?
Yeah, charger,
You can keep everything else.
this, and remote. I'll leave the remote in here.
Just, you can take the bag and everything.
Oh, okay.
Just leave me this.
Okay,
I'll put it in a evidence bag and I'll put it up in one of the lockers.
sounds good.
So, let's see, 8, 5, 19.
What I was gonna ask, double check me, I don't know that back door lock I came out of. I tried to come through the main office and the door into it from in the fire department was locked, so I went out the other one. And you don't need your bag.
You stand, sign of these, that's just saying I can't add anything
Oh,
else
okay.
in there.
Sign or
Or
initial?
initial. Alright, and then signature down here is just saying it's being relinquished by you and held for safety. What I'll do is I'll contact Rick tomorrow.
I'm in no rush, I don't see using it in the near future, but whatever.
But I mean, I don't wanna hold any longer than I have to, just kinda, I'm not, again, not seizing it, just holding it on a mutual agreement, correct?
Yeah, that's perfectly
Okay.
fine,
Um,
yeah. And like you said, we can erase the first few minutes that way, just get them.
and that might be the easiest way to do it,
We
but
get
I'm
them-
not sure, so I wanna make sure.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
But your understanding is this is being held in mutual agreement, correct?
Mhm.
Cameron? Okay.
Yep. You know what? Seriously, I like your style. That's how I would like to write something up, you know. Get it off because it can be misunderstood or misconstrued, or I could come back and make an allegation, or.
Right, that's why I'm trying to be as clear as I can.
I like that.
I have nothing to hide from you, and I hope that you have nothing to hide from me, and that's why we're doing it kind of by the book. If I knew what to do, I would do it. I'm the first person to say, I don't know, never had this situation, so
Right.
I'd like to see whatever Rick has to say since he's kind of in charge.
Sure.
Sound good?
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
Get that other one checked out. We'll keep going.
Yeah, I think we'll just close this in. Oh, brother.
Yeah, see, I want to get one of these. I
Um,
think it'd be nice to watch
I don't know if you
kids
still
and
get those. They're changing so fast. I've had that about maybe 4 years already, and you go to Walmart and try to find one like that, they'd probably say, oh, that, we don't sell those anymore, here's the newest.
Right.
But that one's all digital, it records HD and, Well, since it's got power, we could probably watch it on that too, maybe. What's that saying? Oh, it's still not saying it's got enough charge to do anything. But no, wait, we should be able to, if you open this here, you should be able to pull the file off of it. There should be one, maybe two files. Sometimes on a long one, it'll split it into two files. Yeah. Go to that drive, whichever drive that is, and it might say, yeah, there you go. Now that you open it and there's, okay, there's only one. How long is it? Alright, yeah, I should be able to view it. That's me getting it set up. That's probably my shirt.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, right there's that thing. Okay, there's the meeting. That's when it started.
So you're president, so there's no problem.
Yep.
And you never leave the room.
That one I was pretty sure I started it right, just like it shows, right before the meeting started.
Good enough for me that I can verify that that was
Right.
right, just like you said, so.
Now that one, like I say, could have been, because I did run down to make copies, and I might have been out of the room when those two were all on.
Just get the serial number on that so I can say I verified it, if there is something. Cisco?
It's a Cisco flip video. I don't know that there's any. Is that a serial number? I can't read that small. It's not just the waist size that goes, guys. The eyesight starts to stumble.
Well, mine's the hair, that's my problem.
Oh.
You still got a good full hair, I'm serious.
It might, if you put it back in, it might go up under properties or something. Or if you want to take a picture of it or something.
Where's the batteries go, or is there no battery?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It does have a battery pack. So, lock that. And it comes on.
Yeah, there we go.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
Yeah.
There's the reason I hired you.
Ah,
Come on now, chief.
there you go. Now you work full-time as a dispatcher,
Yeah.
Seneca County,
Tiffin.
Tiffin.
Yeah.
Oh, Tiffin City.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law just retired, well, almost a year now, retired as a Sandusky County Sheriff's dispatcher, Bob Gravenstetter. He was in a wheelchair, 17 years old. They were fishing at Mud Creek on 53, and car slammed in. Him and his brother put him in a wheelchair.
Oh, shit.
But he pursued law enforcement, got a degree,
Did what he could do.
in a wheelchair at 17, and 30 years as a dispatcher, got a pension. He did good. But he
God
got.
bless for being a dispatcher that long, huh?
God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
He got his promotions and such, and then he coordinated. He did still dispatch the last couple of years, but he kind of coordinated that whole center as much
Right,
as
did the TAC and all that.
maybe.
Taking care of the
He
leads.
liked it. He liked it. You know, it was good pay and everything.
Well, heck yeah.
All right, fellas.
Oh, I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate the way you do that.
We'll get it figured out.
Anything I can do on those kids at 1:30 in the morning, I'm a light sleeper, and I've woken up a couple times and look out the window. I even thought about getting a flashlight and shining it on them, but I don't want to aggravate
Yeah,
them.
the hard part is, I think the more we do that we can't do something that's gonna stick, they're just gonna torment the shit out of us. So I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing is getting these people hired, getting them out on the street during those 4 hours. That
But if
he's
they
not
are
threatening.
too young, then there's a curfew that applies to them?
Absolutely. It's my understanding that it's 10 o'clock for kids up
Well,
to-
it was well past 10.
I got informed somewhere, but it was different numbers basically. It's my understanding that kids like up to like 16
No.
is 10, 9 or 10.
I don't think any of them were 16.
And then from 16 to 18 was like 11. So.
You guys heading out?
Here shortly, I need him to sign something.
Have you double checking on the doors?
Yeah.
I don't want them to say, hey, who was last one out? And you left it open.
Which door?
The back one?
Oh,
Yeah. Because when I got here at 5:30 to look over the financials, I knocked on that door, it was locked. So I went to that one and it was locked. So anyhow, I went in that one, and then eventually, when I came out this one to get more stuff
I'll be
out
right
of
back.
more stuff out of the car, it locked on me when I closed it, but now it won't. I can't figure that out. When I went out, it locked me out.
Did we have council meeting back here last month?
I think so.
I wasn't in that.
I think it's unlocked, yeah. But when I did this to unlock it, to let me back in, it locked on me, so I just wanted to make sure it's the way it's supposed to be. I don't know if it needs a key or not, it's pretty good. Oh, okay.
Maybe it does lock.
Good.
Just the door.
Maybe. No, really, not just what you brought, I like your approach, I like the thoroughness, and the notes you wrote on there, I like that.
You gotta be in this job. I mean,
Sure.
it's all about covering bases. Obviously I have lots of family here. I want what's best for them. Obviously I don't want to get myself in any problems because I'm not gonna lose my job or reputation application over, not to minimize this, but for peanuts, basically, that I'm working
Right,
for.
right.
You know,
The
so-
experience and such,
Absolutely.
and
And it's invaluable, and that's why I took it, because I care about the village and I care about getting the experience. It may be someday move on to bigger and better things, but I'm also not gonna risk everything I have.
I'll walk you back up and show something quick. When I grew up across the south side of the school, 302 David Street, it's right split level, my dad built that house. I know the history and everything. Well, we sold it when we passed years ago. The ash trees had to come down because of the other emerald land for it. So we took them down. I had the lumber milled. I got a PC workstation. Did I ever tell you about it?
Yeah, I think you told me
It's a
about that.
home
that
plate
technology stuff
to
out back.
scale, home plate out of 1.5" ash wood, and I made a couple dozen baseball bats. This is the test one. It's not built to. It's not the right diameter.
Cool, how'd you get that engraved?
Waukesha, Ohio. Guy does laser engraving. But here's the cool part. My son had this idea. I got a son probably about your age in Austin, Texas. On the backside, was going to put a website that down the road, his sons, he's got 3 sons, and their family can keep this, hopefully as an heirloom.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And say, that was my great-grandpa's property that this bat came from. That's what this says. But there's a website now that I got this guy in Waukesha, a QR code. You familiar with QR codes? It's like a UPS
The
thing.
one that's kind of.
Yeah, dotted. He's engraving them on this. I'm going to drill down just about 1/8 of an inch and plant it in there. I was going to put the website on the back. So my son said, don't do that. Put that in there, and then years down the road, unless they change technology, somebody pull this off and scan that QR code, takes us to our family history website.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. But anyhow,
That would be cool.
so.
Then you can, anybody breaks in your house, you can leave a big Poe. I don't know how to find it, right?
No, who is? Oh wait, I already know who it is.
Never mind, you're the guy. No, I'm not. Yep,
You are Poe's house. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll be in
Anytime.
tomorrow. I gotta go up to that school thing. I'll talk to Rick and then we'll go from there.
If you run out of time, don't worry about it. But
Oh, we'll get it done tomorrow.
okay.
Thanks,
great.
Dan. Have a good night.